Chapter 51-24. Then, do you have the confidence? Jiang Chen smiled. Nope. My grandpa said that after so many years, only less than 50 people were chosen to enter the ancestral land. It's not that easy to choose an ancestor. Maybe there will be one this time. Maybe there won't be one. Ancestor Zhe Ming is an extremely terrifying potential stock. I don't dare to ask for too much. Everything will depend on the will of the heavens. Chen Lu smiled. Ancestor Zhe Ming, from now on, please bring out the Chen gazing stone. Chen Feng said solemnly. He grabbed with one hand and 9 palm-sized stones appeared in the void in front of everyone. At that moment, thousands of people from the Chen family raised their heads and looked at the so-called Chen gazing stone. The Chen gazing stone continued to spin. All of a sudden, a bright light burst out. A drop of blood was sucked into the Chen gazing stone from the center of everyone's brows. The Chen gazing stone was initially milky white in color. After sucking in the blood, it became extremely bewitching, giving off an extremely terrifying feeling. The scarlet color was like a blood rose. Jiang Chen's expression was incomparably solemn. This Chen gazing stone had such a terrifying power of the stars. Furthermore, it seemed to be different from the power of the stars. Jiang Chen's expression changed. He could even feel his blood boiling in his heart. A drop of blood flew out from the center of his brows and landed on the Chen gazing stone. How could this be? Jiang Chen had not expected that he would not be able to escape from this. What exactly was this Chen gazing stone? To think that it could suck away his blood without him realizing it. Before Jiang Chen could recover from his shock, a blood-colored halo appeared above his head. The appearance of the halo instantly attracted everyone's attention. Not only him, but Chen Lu's head also had a blood-colored halo that did not dissipate. It's our little friend Jiang Chen. How is this possible? Chen Feng's expression was solemn. He had not expected that the Chen gazing stone would actually choose our little friend Jiang Chen for their Chen family's ancestral worshipping ceremony. This was simply unimaginable. Lulu, is it really you? Chen Batian was incomparably excited. He had never imagined that his own daughter would also be chosen by the Chen gazing stone. This was the so-called ancestor selection. They would worship their ancestors once every 500 years. And it had already been over 4,000 years since anyone had obtained the Chen gazing stone's approval. But this time, 2 people had actually appeared. What was even more unbelievable to the Chen family was that Jiang Chen was also chosen. Some were happy, some were sad, some were disappointed, and some were worried. The ancestors had chosen Chen Lu and Jiang Chen. At this moment, everyone sighed. But at the same time, they were happy for Jiang Chen and Chen Lu. From the beginning to the end, Chen Lu's mind was blank. She didn't think that she would be chosen by the ancestor. How great of an opportunity was this? Chen Lu didn't think much of it earlier, but when it really came to the top of her head, she was so excited that she was about to cry. Is it really me? Chen Lu still couldn't believe it, and looked at her father. Her father nodded, looking even more excited than she was. His daughter had received the approval of the Chen gazing stone, and that was his glory. He was even happier than if he had received the approval of his ancestor. When Chen Lu looked at Jiang Chen, she couldn't believe it. How could an outsider like him be chosen by the ancestor selection as well? How did I get chosen? The people of the Chen family were shocked. Jiang Chen was even more shocked. He was just here to watch the show. But the people of the Chen family were pleasantly surprised. It was within their expectations. The strength of Jiang Chen was obvious to all. If not for him, their Chen family would have long turned into a dead man's valley, and Mount Dongchen would have turned into ruins. Little friend Jiang Chen, congratulations. You've obtained the ancestor selection of our Chen family. The choice of the Chen gazing stone will never be wrong. Our Chen family holds a grand ceremony once every 500 years. There will always be a selection of the ancestor selection. Whoever is chosen by the Chen gazing stone will be the chosen son of the heaven. That person can head to our Chen family's ancestral ground, Eternal Night Star, to receive a true baptism, to cleanse their meridians and marrow, and to be given the best cultivation resources. This is something that countless people dream of. Chen Feng said emotionally. Even though Jiang Chen wasn't a member of the Chen family, Chen Feng was still happy that he was chosen. To them, this was an unparalleled glory. Does that mean that I still have to head to your Chen family in Eternal Night Star? Jiang Chen's gaze was a little complicated. What the hell was this? He was just here to watch the ceremony. Why was he chosen to be the chosen son of the heaven? Seemed like the Chen family was really thirsty for talent. Jiang Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. At this moment, Chen Lu was hugging Jiang Chen tightly. Her face was filled with excitement. Big brother Jiang Chen. I've obtained the recognition of the Chen gazing stone. We've all passed. We've all passed. Chen Lu was crying tears of joy. At this moment, there were only traces of tears left on her face. After a long time, she finally let go of Jiang Chen. I'm sorry, big brother Jiang Chen. I lost my composure a little. Chen Lu pouted her lips. However, the excitement in her heart was still hard to conceal. Indeed, he's our benefactor. To think that he has obtained the recognition of the Chen gazing stone as well. That's right. This is our pride. If our benefactor can head to our Chen family's ancestral ground to cultivate, that'll be our Chen family's repayment. That's right. This time around, even Chen Lu has obtained the recognition of the Chen gazing stone. This means that the days of our Chen family are getting better and better. Everyone was talking at the same time. Their faces were filled with joy. No one had expected that two people would be able to go to the Chen clan's ancestral land to cultivate this time. To Chen Lu, it would be the happiest if she could stay with big brother Jiang Chen forever. The two of them could be together again. Although Chen Lu hadn't said much, her feelings for big brother Jiang Chen were sincere. The heavens and earth could bear witness. This so-called treasure of the Chen family should be the Chen gazing stone. Jiang Chen realized that the Chen gazing stone seemed to be connected to him through some kind of connection. It was highly possible that it was the drop of blood between his brows. Little friend Jiang Chen, our Chen family's ancestral ground is on the eternal night star. It's the second astral realm in the Sky Tyrant cosmic realm, just below the Sky Tyrant cosmic realm. There are cosmic cloud states in our ancestral ground. The Chen family attaches great importance to the heavens chosen by our ancestor. You can go to our ancestral ground. You definitely won't be disappointed. Chen Feng said seriously. Jiang Chen nodded, but at this moment, his heart was beating like a drum. The statue of the Chen family's ancestor had stopped moving. The 7 Chen gazing stones returned to the statue. The other 2 Chen gazing stones appeared in the hands of Jiang Chen and Chen Lu. The people from the Chen family's ancestral ground will usually come to pick you up within half a year. During this time, stay here and cultivate well. Chapter 51-25. Family Leader, the Chen family's ancestral ground is a place for us to cultivate. If we let Jiang Chen go, wouldn't we anger the Chen family? Yes, Family Leader, if we decide on our own, it would be bad if the Chen family isn't happy. Would they cancel our spots? It's really hard to say. Jiang Chen isn't a member of the Chen family after all. What they said is not without reason. Patriarch, why don't you say something? The elders were serious. This wasn't a joke. No one could guarantee that the ancestor of the Chen family wouldn't be furious. After all, those who went before were all members of the Chen family. However, Jiang Chen wasn't related to the Chen family. Chen Feng's eyes flashed. He wasn't going to hold back now. Little friend Jiang Chen is our Chen family's great benefactor. Even if our ancestor didn't choose Jiang Chen today, the ancestor of Chen family wouldn't just sit back and do nothing when we send him to our ancestral land. Furthermore, little friend Jiang Chen has saved millions of lives in Mount Dongchen. There's no need to talk about this. The ancestor's decision proves that the ancestor's choice was right. If Jiang Chen doesn't have the right to go to the ancestral ground, who does? Chen Feng's righteousness reached the clouds. No one dared to speak at this moment. Chen Feng was right. If it wasn't for Jiang Chen, how could they be standing here talking? To them, their ancestor gave them life, but Jiang Chen gave them rebirth. They didn't dare to hesitate at all. Chen Feng's words echoed everyone's thoughts. They were just confused, but they didn't dare to question Jiang Chen at all. Even a half-step cosmic cloud state was defeated by him. The Chen family couldn't afford to mess with such a being. They were worried, but Chen Feng stood his ground. No one dared to question him anymore. I have an idea. Father, since everyone is worried, why don't we betroth Lulu to little friend Jiang Chen? If that's the case, aren't we a family? Chen Batian laughed. Instantly, Chen Lu's expression became extremely ugly. The redness on her face could not be described with words. She was so embarrassed that she wanted to find a hole to hide in. Father was too daring, wasn't he? In front of her, he actually said that he wanted her to marry Jiang Chen. This was too embarrassing. Jiang Chen was also slightly taken aback as he glanced at Chen Lu. Chen Lu bit her red lips with a bitter expression on her face. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? My little friend Jiang Chen, are you willing to marry my granddaughter? I watched her grow up, and you two are good friends. You should know what kind of person my granddaughter is. Most importantly, the two of you are too compatible. It's like a match made in heaven. In all these years, the two of you are the only ones who have the opportunity to cultivate in the Chen clan's ancestral ground. Moreover, you're together. This is an opportunity that no one can compare to. Chen Feng slapped his head and said. Chen Batian nodded repeatedly. Yes, yes, yes. The two of you are really a match made in heaven. As long as the two of you get married, won't you be a part of our Chen clan? Won't you be able to enter the Chen clan's ancestral ground officially? The two of you will definitely add a great color to our Chen clan's ancestral ground. Facing her father and grandfather's continuous attacks, Chen Lu's face was as red as an apple. Jiang Chen smiled bitterly in his heart. It wasn't that he didn't like Chen Lu. Who wouldn't like such a beautiful and understanding woman? However, he was here to find his son. Moreover, Luo Ying had just left, and he was already so close to Chen Lu. Wouldn't that be too disappointing? Chen Lu seemed to be able to see Jiang Chen's dilemma. Although she hoped that she could be with Big Brother Jiang Chen, she didn't want to see Big Brother Jiang Chen in a difficult situation. Father, grandfather, the two of you shouldn't blindly get involved. Big Brother Jiang Chen has always treated me like his own little sister. Chen Lu said with a smile. She couldn't hide the disappointment in her eyes, but she wanted Big Brother Jiang Chen to calm down. Since that's the case, Sai, forget it. However, I still feel that the two of you are a match made in heaven. Little friend Jiang Chen, no matter what, when we go to the Chen clan's ancestral ground in the future, you have to help me take care of Chen Lu. Otherwise, I won't forgive you. Chen Batian said with a smile. Jiang Chen nodded and murmured. Chen clan's ancestral ground. He was a little hesitant. Right now, he was going to look for Feng De Huang and Luo Ying. For a moment, he was like a headless fly, not knowing where to go. However, it seemed that the cultivation in the Chen clan's ancestral ground wasn't ordinary. This time, he might really have to go and take a look. Chen Lu looked at Jiang Chen with anticipation, as if she was waiting for Jiang Chen's promise. All right then. Since that's the case, I have to thank the Chen clan for their kindness. I will take good care of Chen Lu. Jiang Chen had a solemn expression on his face. He nodded and gave Chen Lu a deep look. At this moment, Chen Lu had already left. Jiang Chen knew that Chen Lu would definitely be very sad. Her eyes were filled with love when she looked at him. However, it was already too late to take back what had been done. He didn't want to hurt everyone again. In the end, his destiny was to wander the world. Luo Ying's departure was filled with sorrow. He didn't know where she was now. He also didn't want Chen Lu to become the second Luo Ying. As the sun set in the west, Chen Lu sat on the peak of Dongchen Mountain, looking at the sunset. Her eyes were filled with sorrow. She was infatuated with Big Brother Jiang Chen. Unfortunately, the goddess had a dream and King Xiang had no heart. The two of them seemed to be like parallel lines that would never intertwine. In the past, when she saw the relationship between Big Sister Luo Ying and Big Brother Jiang Chen, she was very envious. Now, Chen Lu was also slowly falling in love with Big Brother Jiang Chen. However, his heart hadn't opened to her. Chen Lu was a little disappointed. Perhaps she wasn't outstanding enough. Why are you here alone? Are you so unhappy that you can't enter the Chen clan's ancestral ground? Jiang Chen's voice appeared behind Chen Lu. Chen Lu's body trembled. She turned around and smiled brightly at Jiang Chen. She didn't want Big Brother Jiang Chen to see her in such a sorry state. Loving someone might be a lowly thing, but she only wanted to know that it was enough. Being lowly in love didn't mean that one had to live lowly. Big Brother Jiang Chen, you're here. I just miss this place a little. In half a year, we'll leave this place. When we enter the ancestral ground, I don't know when we'll be able to return. Those who entered the Chen clan's ancestral ground to cultivate didn't want to come back. Although Tianqian Star is considered a relatively developed starfield and Sky Tyrant starfield, It's nothing compared to the Chen clan's ancestral ground and Sky Tyrant star boundary. Chen Lu sighed. Chapter 51-26. People will always change. They're in their prime and their strength is at its peak. Naturally, they won't miss home. Especially those powerful people. The more ambitious they are, the greater their vision. At that moment, the Chen family's ancestral land will be their home. Jiang Chen murmured. That's right. That place is also home. When they have their own home, who wouldn't want to have a strong home as their backing? Chen Lu said with a bitter smile. People have their joys and sorrows. The moon has its waxing and waning. Jiang Chen said indifferently. He had already seen through the joys and sorrows of life. From the saint origin world to the mortal world, the immortal world, the divine world, the three realms reincarnation, the 100 classics, and the vicissitudes of life. Jiang Chen's experience was far beyond their imagination. Looking back, home was long gone. Home was only in the hearts of their loved ones. Feng when will you go home? Jiang Chen couldn't help but feel a little melancholy. The two of them looked at each other and smiled. Both of them were very emotional and helpless. There's still half a year before I go to the Chen family's ancestral land in the eternal night star. I want to take a look at the Tang of the East. That's the hub of the entire Tian Chen star. I want to find Feng I don't know if I can find him there. Jiang Chen still had a glimmer of hope for the Tang of the East. After all, that's the biggest hub of the Tian Chen star. And that's good. Then I'll bring you to see the world. Hee. Brother Jiang Chen, since you came to the Tian Chen star, you've been in our western borders Dong Chen Mountain. As the host, I must bring you to see the splendor of our Tian Chen star. Chen Lu's eyes also lit up. There was a hint of excitement at the corner of her mouth. This half a year's time was just right for her to walk around with brother Jiang Chen. Then I'll leave it to you, Jiang Chen said with a shrug. He didn't have any pills on him now. If he could find some heavenly treasures to refine some pills, it would be great. After leaving the heavenly Chen planet, they would have to travel the universe. At that time, the dangers they would encounter might not be any less than here. The more powerful the astral boundary was, the more dangerous it would be. Even the ancestral land of the Chen family, the eternal night star, might not be a safe place. He must be prepared. It was very necessary to carry a few more medicinal pills on his back in case of emergency. However, Jiang Chen did not have any more source stones with him now. All of the source stones and source stone veins had been absorbed by Jiang Chen when he broke through and merged with the power of the stars. One had to know that what he absorbed was not only the power of the stars, but also countless amounts of source energy. It was because of this that he was able to become so strong. I need some medicinal herbs. Can you help me find some? Jiang Chen said. Medicinal herbs? Just tell me, big brother Jiang Chen. I'll definitely find them all for you. Our Dong Chen mountain doesn't have much, but we do have a lot of medicinal herbs. You may not know this, but our Chen family started with medicinal herbs. This entire mountain is filled with medicinal herbs. Chen Lu said proudly as she patted her chest. Okay. Jiang Chen nodded and gave Chen Lu a list of more than 20 herbs. Jiang Chen also wanted to concoct 2 types of medicinal herbs. One was the Great Recovery Pill that could recover stamina. The small recovery pill wasn't enough to support his consumption, but the Great Recovery Pill could satisfy the needs of almost all cultivators below the cosmic cloud state. One pill could recover at least 50% of their strength. The other pill was the 8 Treasures Return Elixir that Jiang Chen had been researching. This was something that Jiang Chen researched himself. It was a pill that could recover mental energy. It required the addition of the leaf of Cinnamomum cassia. It was extremely terrifying and could recover at least 70% of the Star Soul's power. It was much more precious than the Great Recovery Pill. These 2 types of pills were extremely precious. Jiang Chen was very clear about the effects. Although he researched it himself, he had never put it into practice. This was also the first time that Jiang Chen researched the pill recipe. With his experience, it would depend on the final effect of the pills. In just half a day, Chen Lu found all the pills that Jiang Chen needed. This made Jiang Chen look at her in a new light. Chen Lu wasn't stingy with so many rare and precious treasures. In her own words, she was the one who had saved millions of lives in the Dongchen Mountain. So what did this little bit of medicinal herbs count for? However, Jiang Chen still didn't like how she always talked about saving lives. He didn't do that because he wanted something. Thank you, Lulu. I will focus on concocting pills in these 10 days. Don't let anyone disturb me. Jiang Chen said. I will go and make some preparations. When you come out of seclusion, we will go to the Great Tang of the East. Chen Lu nodded. Jiang Chen took out the myriad qi cauldron and began to smelt the medicinal herbs. The great revitalizing pill was easy to concoct. Chen Lu gave him a lot of medicinal herbs, so Jiang Chen didn't have to worry about anything. In the first 2 days, Jiang Chen wholeheartedly focused on concocting the great revitalizing pills. 1,000 great revitalizing pills, all of which were 10 mark pills. Moreover, the medicinal fragrance was very strong. Why is there such a strong medicinal fragrance? Yeah, I smell it too. It has been there for the past 2 days. It makes one feel relaxed. Who is concocting pills? I don't know. However, this medicinal fragrance can float in the entire Dongchen mountain. It's really too heaven-defying. This kind of pill is definitely not ordinary. Come, let's go and see where this medicinal fragrance is coming from. Many of the Chen family members were very curious because the medicinal fragrance was too strong. It couldn't be concealed within 100 miles. With 1,000 great revitalizing pills, Jiang Chen's arm was also quite big. Just one great revitalizing pill would probably cause countless people to go crazy over it in the secular world. After all, this wasn't a world where the average person was a 9-level star state. On the Tianchen planet, there were only a few cosmic cloud states. Most people who could reach the star state were already extremely terrifying existences. That was why Jiang Chen's great revitalizing pills were so attractive. This medicinal fragrance was something they had never smelled before. It was really too fragrant. Everyone, leave. It's our benefactor who is concocting the pills. You can all go and rest. After Chen Batian heard Chen Lu's words, he announced. Only then did the people of Dongchen Mountain calm down. But even so, Chen Batian was very shocked. He was saved by Jiang Chen before. Now, Jiang Chen had concocted such a terrifying pill. How could he not be shocked? However, at this time, after Jiang Chen had concocted 1,000 great revitalizing pills, he placed most of his attention on the 8 Treasures Return Elixir. This was the pill formula he researched. He didn't know if it would succeed in his first experiment. Chapter 51-27. Jiang Chen was very careful. After all, it was his first time concocting 8 Treasures Return Elixir. Whether he could succeed or not depended on this. After adding in the golden cassia leaf, the aroma of the pill grew stronger and stronger. A terrifying aura filled the entire East Chen Mountain, covering everything within 50 kilometers of it. Such a dense aroma. This golden cassia leaf is really a treasure. Jiang Chen's heart was in turmoil. He had a towering cinnamomum cassia in his hands. The leaves of cinnamomum cassia were already so precious and had an extremely powerful calming effect. This golden cassia leaf could calm one's heart. It could definitely calm one's mind during cultivation. After adding it into his research of 8 Treasures Return Elixir, the effect was magnified infinitely. Jiang Chen was extremely happy. He began to speed up his concoction. If he successfully concocted this, it would definitely be 10 times more precious than the Great Recovery Pill. Even a cosmic cloud state would be very excited. Even for cosmic cloud states, there were very few who could break through their natal astral soul. For those who didn't, this 8 Treasures Return Elixir would have an unimaginable effect. It might even help them break through their natal astral soul. Hence, this 8 Treasures Return Elixir was too terrifying. Jiang Chen's dream was finally about to succeed. The exciting moment was coming. Ha 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 ha. Just when Jiang Chen was extremely excited, he heard a bang. All the pills in the myriad qi cauldron exploded. In other words, his first concoction, 8 Treasures Return Elixir, actually failed? Jiang Chen was a little depressed. He had already grasped the embryonic form of this 8 Treasures Return Elixir, but he still failed at the last moment. Damn it again! Jiang Chen was extremely unwilling to give up. He set off again and began to concoct pills like crazy. This time, Jiang Chen had learned his lesson from before. He became more and more cautious, not letting go of any details. These details were the key to success. Most importantly, this was the first time Jiang Chen was concocting a pill that he had researched himself, so he didn't know if it would succeed or not. Dreams were plentiful, but reality was cruel. Researching such a rare pill recipe was not as simple as one might imagine. Jiang Chen's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. The more it was like this, the more dignified he became. This was the more challenging it would be. Only challenging things could make him so excited. However, he had never expected that he would fail again this time. He had worked so hard and was so cautious. But at the crucial moment, when he was condensing the medicinal pill, he actually failed again. This gave Jiang Chen a huge headache. Jiang Chen reflected on his painful experience and started to research. Only now did he know that this pill was not that easy to concoct. Hence, he was extremely careful and didn't dare to make any mistakes. He had already made all the necessary preparations. Failure was the mother of success. As long as he could learn from his mistakes, there wouldn't be any problems and he would eventually succeed. Again and again, Jiang Chen had tried countless methods and wasted countless herbs. In these 3 days, Jiang Chen had experimented more than 100 times, and all of them were failures. However, he was able to find the flaws in his failures every time. This pill was definitely not something ordinary people could concoct. It was a pill that could strengthen one's mental energy and astral souls. Hence, the difficulty of concocting it was extremely rare. No one knew how much effort Jiang Chen had put in. This was something he had never done before. Given his alchemy standard and his talent, he had actually failed over 100 times. From this, one could imagine how difficult this pill was to concoct. The more it was like this, the more Jiang Chen believed that this pill would definitely cause a sensation. After failing again and again and summing up his experience, Jiang Chen finally had a conclusion about this 8 treasures to elixir. This golden cassia leaf has a great effect on mental energy. Hence at this time I must be very careful. When concocting an ordinary pill, I only need to move my thoughts and cooperate with the myriad qi cauldron. However, this 8 treasures to elixir actually failed every time. What's going on? Jiang Chen pondered. His eyes were incomparably complicated. However, he knew that there must be a problem somewhere. Otherwise, how could he fail again and again? If he couldn't find a good solution this time, Jiang Chen believed that even if he practiced for 108,000 years, the result would still be the same. Jiang Chen pondered for a whole day. Suddenly, a light flashed and Jiang Chen's eyes shone brightly. Yes, it must be the effect of 8 treasures to elixir. It is of great help to one's mental energy. It is completely different from other pills. Hence, I must use the power of my natal astral soul to condense it. It must be so. Jiang Chen's heart was incomparably excited. This idea made him more confident in himself. This time he must succeed. Again. Jiang Chen's eyes were solemn and his heart was firm. He regrouped and began to immerse himself in alchemy once again. This time, after Jiang Chen had finished refining all the ingredients, he used his natal astral soul as a guide, and the energy from his astral soul as a support. He started to condense the medicinal pill, and the energy from his astral soul continued to pour into it. At this moment, the medicinal pill started to slowly fuse, and fuse again. Jiang Chen was extremely excited. The pill was constantly changing. This time it was like a small planet. A blue halo was constantly forming in the myriad qi cauldron and continuously fusing. It was like a comet streaking across the sky. The energy in the myriad qi cauldron was also getting stronger and stronger. Jiang Chen's pupils constricted. This terrifying pill had completely exceeded his imagination. Because of the energy of the astral soul within the pill, in addition to the astral soul's energy that was connected to the pill, it created an indescribably mysterious feeling. The power of Jiang Chen's astral soul was like a guide, causing the power of the astral soul in the pill itself to expand and compress unceasingly. This was absolutely something that Jiang Chen had never heard of before. This pill is really abnormal. Waves of shock rose in Jiang Chen's heart. At this moment, he could already confirm that the path he was walking on was absolutely correct. This time he would definitely not fail again. However, he had never thought that he would still be careless. This pill actually began to devour the power of his astral soul, and even the source energy in his body. This made Jiang Chen even more surprised. However, this feeling didn't last for too long. As the pill was formed, the worry in Jiang Chen's eyes gradually faded away. Chapter 51-28. What's going on? Why is this happening? Is some powerful demon beast going to appear in Mount Dongchen again? That seems to be the case. If it's not a powerful demon beast, How could there be such terrifying dark clouds? The wind follows the tiger. The clouds follow the dragon. The weather is changing, and the sun is being covered by the sorcery clouds. Is our Mount Dongchen going to experience some kind of disaster? Heis, this is really too worrying. One problem has yet to be settled. Yet another. Our Mount Dongchen is truly plagued with disasters. Countless people raised their heads and stared at the dark clouds in the sky. The sky had turned dark, and the rumbling of thunder could be heard in the sky, causing everyone's heart to palpitate. The thunder was so loud that the people of Mount Dongchen had never heard it before. It could even be described as the end of the world. Even Chen Feng was unable to sit still in the face of such a huge formation. As the Chen clan's patriarch of Mount Dongchen, he also rushed out at the first instant, with the 9 great elders following behind him. They were all spectating. After all, this shocking turn of events had caused everyone's hearts to be filled with anxiety and trepidation. They were unable to imagine what would happen next. Patriarch, what do you think? Could it be that there's some big demon causing trouble? In my opinion, could it be that that guy has made a comeback? It's hard to say. Right now everything is unknown. However, the sky is filled with dark clouds, and the thunder is too dazzling and ear-piercing. All the elders were also panicking. Crack, crack, they had never heard such a deafening sound before. It almost pierced their eardrums. The sound of thunder seemed to rise from the bottom of their hearts, causing everyone's heart to palpitate. It was difficult for them to calm down. Let's wait and see. I've lived for a long time, but I've never seen such a loud thunder. Chen Feng wore a stern expression. However, even he could not do anything about it. He could only wait and see. That heavenly lightning. Oh my God. Brother Jiang Chen is still there. Chen Lu's face was filled with worry and shock. She covered her mouth and stared at the hole in disbelief. What? Is little friend Jiang Chen still there? Chen Feng was starting to panic as well. The terrifying thunderclouds were spreading across the entire sky, causing everyone to be unable to calm down. But now, Chen Lu actually said that Jiang Chen was in that grand hall? Wouldn't that be extremely dangerous? Father, I think that little friend Jiang Chen should be able to handle it. Chen Batian stared at his father with some hesitation. However, they didn't seem to have the ability to approach that place. The might of this thunderbolt was simply too terrifying. Even Chen Feng was hesitating, unable to make a decision. Rumble. Thunder roared once again. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The atmosphere became even more terrifying. They stared at the great hall where Jiang Chen was in from afar, but it was impossible for them to advance. Even if it's you, I reckon that you will be turned into ashes after going against such a shocking lightning. Chen Feng glanced at Chen Batian. His son's worries were not without reason. However, little friend Jiang Chen's location was the center of the lightning strike. Lightning descended from the sky, and rainbow-colored clouds enveloped the entire horizon. As a bolt of lightning descended, all the buildings within a radius of a few miles were turned into dust. However, Chen Feng's gaze landed on a mountain peak. Jiang Chen was sitting in a lotus position, holding a furnace in his hand as though he was refining something. Big brother Jiang Chen. Chen Lu shouted, her heart filled with worry. Everyone in the Chen family had a change of expression. Jiang Chen was actually sitting under the lightning. There's no need to worry. I'm refining a medicinal pill. This is just pill lightning. Jiang Chen's voice reverberated throughout the sky. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. It was good that Jiang Chen was fine. Chen Lu let out a long sigh of relief. The shock in her eyes was still unconcealable. Chen Feng and the others were even more so. The 9 elders exchanged glances with each other in disbelief. Isn't this too terrifying? This pill lightning can even kill an 8th heaven star level expert. The energy is too strong. There's no way we can withstand it. That's right. If we go up, we'll only be turned into dust. To think that little friend Jiang Chen is still sitting there. This is simply unbelievable. Benefactor is truly a benefactor. We can only look up to him in the dust. Haha, there's no need to worry now. Little friend Jiang Chen is merely refining a medicinal pill. Even so, no one dared to underestimate Jiang Chen. They didn't even dare to avert their eyes, fearing that Jiang Chen would be struck by those heaven-shaking and earth-shattering lightning bolts and turn into a pile of dust. Chen Feng's heart was unable to calm down for a long time. This kind of alchemy technique could be said to shock the heavens and earth. Little friend Jiang Chen had truly shocked him too much. What kind of medicinal pill would be refined with such pill lightning? Chen Feng couldn't imagine it at all. Even I shouldn't be able to withstand more than 3 strikes from that pill lightning. Chen Feng mumbled. For Jiang Chen to be able to defeat a powerful enemy and save the millions of lives of their Mount Dongchen, his strength and means must be heaven-shaking. Seems like this wasn't a baseless rumor. Jiang Chen raised his head and looked at the sky with an incomparably solemn gaze. These bolts of lightning were the guarantee of his body tempering. He didn't have any worries at all. Every single bolt of lightning was like a ripple of water, landing on his body and eventually passing through the blue medicinal pill. Each time, the blue medicinal pill would turn a little darker. As the 9 bolts of lightning struck down, the final color of the pill turned darker and darker, eventually turning into a deep purple. The brilliance was something that Jiang Chen couldn't describe with words. After the 9 bolts of lightning, the medicinal pill was finally formed. However, Jiang Chen was still unharmed. In the eyes of the people of Mount Dongchen, their benefactor, Jiang Chen, was like a god that had descended from the heavens to save their Mount Dongchen. To be able to remain unscathed even after being struck by such bolts of lightning, such means were truly unparalleled. Most importantly, Jiang Chen was only at the 8th level of the star realm. This was like a fantasy story. It was hard to predict what Jiang Chen would achieve in the future. Furthermore, he could even concoct medicinal pills. If such a pill were to appear, it would definitely be an existence that would shake the heavens and earth. Everyone raised their heads in anticipation. When they smelled the fragrance of the pill, they could feel a refreshing feeling in their hearts. Furthermore, they felt extremely comfortable, without any discomfort. As the fragrance of the pill lingered around them, they felt extremely relaxed. This feeling was indescribable. They felt as though their souls had been emptied. This feeling was the most suitable for cultivation. Just what kind of medicinal pill is this? How can it be so terrifying? Just this fragrance alone is enough to make me feel relaxed and carefree. This is simply too amazing. Benefactor is truly a blessing to our Mount Dongchens. Chapter 51-29. Jiang Chen clenched the pill in his hand tightly. This pill was too powerful. The 9-colored pill lightning pierced through the world and completely purified the 8 treasure return elixir. The lightning retreated and the pill was completed. The pill had long since turned from blue to dark purple. Jiang Chen's heart was filled with fighting spirit as he held the pill in his hands. Using his natal astral soul as an example, if his natal astral soul was damaged, he would only need a few dozen seconds to recover to its peak. The effect of this pill was extraordinary. Even Jiang Chen didn't expect it. It seemed that the golden cassia leaf was really powerful. Looking at the empty mountain peak, Jiang Chen smiled bitterly. It seemed that while he was concocting the pill, he had turned all the buildings within a 10-mile radius to dust. The surrounding mountains were also affected by the lightning shockwave. The buildings and forests within 100 miles were affected too. Although they weren't completely destroyed, the damage was severe. Jiang Chen's heart was filled with excitement. With the pills in his hands, it was like having an extra life. Even cosmic cloud states would fight over this pill. It was too amazing. Although it was only an 8-rune pill, Jiang Chen knew that this was his first time concocting a pill. It wasn't easy. Congratulations, little friend Jiang Chen. Ha ha ha, you obtained a pill. I'm really envious. Chen Feng laughed heartily as his eyes were filled with admiration. Other than admiration, there was only admiration. Such a being was destined to be a dragon in the 9 heavens. Not only was he powerful, but he also had such terrifying pill concoction abilities. Even in the Sky Tyrant cosmic region, there aren't many people who can concoct such an earth-shattering pill like little friend Jiang Chen, Chen Batian praised. It was a pity that Jiang Chen couldn't become his son-in-law. Otherwise, he would be overjoyed. You flatter me, Jiang Chen said with a smile. I feel bad for causing such a mess in the Chen clan. Jiang Chen had a bitter expression on his face as he took out 10 great cyclic pills and handed them over to Chen Feng. Chen Feng's face was filled with shock. Little friend Jiang Chen, consider it my compensation, haha. Furthermore, the medicinal ingredients for my alchemy were all given to me by Lulu. These 10 great recovery pills can help a person recover their origin energy in an instant, so they can be considered precious. I'll give them to the Chen clan. Everyone was stunned by Jiang Chen's words, and their faces were filled with excitement. This Seems to be too expensive, right? Little friend Jiang Chen. Chen Feng said with some difficulty. However, these great recovery pills were simply too alluring. Not only that, there were 10 of them. A single great recovery pill was equivalent to having a life. This caused all the members of the Chen clan to be terrified and overjoyed. Patriarch Chen deserves it. Take it. How could there be any logic in taking back something that Jiang Chen had given out? Furthermore, Jiang Chen still had 990 great recovery pills in his hands. To him, these things weren't all that precious. However, in the eyes of Chen Feng and the rest of the Chen clan, their significance was completely different. Many thanks, little friend Jiang Chen. In that case, it would be impolite for this old man to refuse. The moment Chen Feng received the pill, his body shuddered. This. Could this be the legendary 10 veins pill? Chen Feng's words caused everyone present to be filled with shock. 10 veins pill. That was just a legend. For someone to be able to concoct a 10 veins pill, that was way too heaven-defying. Jiang Chen's figure grew even bigger in their hearts. 10 veins pill. This was a 10 veins pill. Chen Feng received the 10 veins pill with trembling hands. His eyes shone brightly as he shed tears of gratitude. Big brother Jiang Chen, you're simply too amazing. Chen Lu gave him a thumbs up and said sincerely. At this moment, Jiang Chen's figure in her heart was something that no one could reach. Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen. A series of roars reverberated through Mount Dongchen. Jiang Chen felt a little embarrassed. From today onwards, this pill shall be the treasure of our Chen clan. Anyone who has made great contributions to the clan will be able to obtain this pill. Chen Feng held the pill in his hand with a solemn expression. Countless members of the Chen clan were filled with desire. The 9 elders and Chen Batian were the same. Because this pill was simply too precious. After living for so many years, Chen Feng had never seen a pill like this. This was definitely the first time he had ever seen a pill like this. Furthermore, it was a 10 veins pill. This had far exceeded his knowledge. In the future, this pill would definitely allow the Chen clan to rise. Mount Dongchen would definitely become the only big shot in the western border in the future. These 10 pills contained all of Chen Feng's hopes. Now that the surrounding palaces have been destroyed, I'm really sorry. However, I might need some more medicinal ingredients. Chen clan head, I might have to trouble you again. Jiang Chen said. No trouble, no trouble. Chen Feng waved his hands repeatedly. The value of these 10 veins great recovery pills was simply inestimable. A single one of them was priceless. Especially to experts, this was something that could only be encountered by luck. Every single great recovery pill could save one's life. This was something that couldn't be bought no matter how much money one had. Batian, pass down the order. Search for medicinal ingredients for little friend Jiang Chen. The more the better. Chen Feng said with a solemn expression. In the next few days, Jiang Chen was constantly refining pills. Jiang Chen found a very remote mountain forest. After all, this was Mount Dongchen, and it would definitely affect many people. After a few days, Jiang Chen had only refined a mere 8 treasures returned to elixir. However, the 8 treasures returned to elixir this time were all 10 veins pill. With the previous example, Jiang Chen definitely wouldn't make any more mistakes. When Jiang Chen left the mountain forest, the sun had just risen. At this time, Chen Lu had already made her preparations to follow Jiang Chen to the Tang of the Eastern Land. There were many people there, and there were also many interstellar wanderers. Therefore, if they wanted to find news of Feng De Huang, Long San, and Luo Ying, Jiang Chen definitely had to go. In this half a year, whether or not he could find any clues would depend on his ability. Big brother Jiang Chen, your strength has improved again. You're really amazing. I'm really ashamed to be able to follow you to the Chen clan's ancestral land to cultivate. Chen Lu said with a smile. Your talent isn't bad either. The ancestor of your Chen clan's ancestral temple, Zhe Ming, wasn't randomly chosen. He has been extremely strict for so many years. You can obtain this special honor because of your own ability. Don't belittle yourself. You're not worse than anyone else. Jiang Chen said. Yes, I'll listen to you. Big brother Jiang Chen. Let's go. Chen Lu broke into a smile. Chapter 5130. The Tang of the East. This was the most prosperous place in the entire Tianqian planet. It was also the place that Chen Lu had always wanted to go. It was the most terrifying transportation hub in the entire Tianqian planet. Countless people and even half of the Sky Tyrant Star region's galactic wanderers would appear here. The Tang of the East was also known as the Hunter's Paradise. Here you could find anything you wanted. Of course, as long as you had enough money. Here, enough source stones could bring you endless enjoyment. As long as you had enough money, there would be countless people working for you. Power, women, and power were the most realistic existences here. There were colorful slaves, orcs, elves, and all sorts of strange races. There were even many that Jiang Chen had never seen before. The degree of prosperity here was the most shocking he had ever seen. Even the Sky Awakening Galaxy City couldn't compare to this place. The Heaven Awakening Galaxy City was already a terrifying existence in the Heaven Awakening Galaxy region, but compared to this place, it paled in comparison. There are a total of 9 cities in the Tang of the East, and each of them is quite prosperous. The city we are in now is Lin'an, the core city. There are hundreds of millions of people from all over the world. The people here are very realistic. As long as you have money, you can be the boss. Chen Lu smiled. Yes, it's the same no matter where you go. You're the boss if you have money. Jiang Chen nodded. Chen Lu was right. This was how the world was. The world was bustling, and everyone went for benefits. Those who seek profit are in pursuit of greater strength. The streets here were bustling with activity. The tall buildings here towered into the sky, striking fear into people's hearts. This place was a place where the water surged and flowed endlessly. There were countless streams of people, crisscrossing the heavens and earth. The number of experts here was also destined to be innumerable. The ruler of this place is a cosmic cloud state, Tang Feng. He has been ruling this place for 100,000 years. When the Chen family just settled in the western border, Tang Feng was the ruler here. I heard from my grandpa that Tang Feng, City Lord Tang, is an important figure in the entire Tang of the East. He's the guardian of this place, the keeper of order. Chen Lu said solemnly. In the main hall, there's a very powerful army called the Imperial Uniform Guard. They're very strong, and it's said that their strongest member is a star level 9. Their power is comparable to our Shijiang's pinnacle warriors. Back then, there was a rumor that a half-step cosmic cloud state caused trouble in the Tang of the East. The Genie Guard set up a trap, but Tang Feng took care of him. Since then, no one has dared to make trouble here. There are countless merchants coming and going from Tang of the East. Many people just pass by, but those who stay here are extremely cautious about Tang of the East. They are afraid that they will cause trouble and bring disaster to Tang of the East. By then, half of the Sky Tyrant Starfield will become his battlefield. If you are chased down, you will be blacklisted. Not only will you not be able to enter the Heaven Star, you might even be killed by the Star Wanderers. Jiang Chen nodded inwardly, surprised. It seemed that the ruler of Great Tang was quite strong. No wonder this place can become a city of order. It's because there are many powerful beings here. There are people who can stand up for justice. There are very few cities like this. You must be able to control the majority of the people. Jiang Chen said. Yes, that's why many people trust Tang Feng. He became the representative of the Tang Empire, the city lord. As long as Tang Feng is here, the Tang Empire will not fall into chaos. Cosmic cloud states are rather rare. Even in the Sky Tyrant cosmic region, there aren't many. In the entire Tianqian planet, there shouldn't be more than 5. Chen Lu smiled. Cosmic cloud state. Jiang Chen murmured. He didn't know when he could reach the power of a cosmic cloud state. Where is the best place to get information here? Jiang Chen asked Chen Lu. The auction. This is because many people will appear in the auction house once they obtain a treasure, or even some extremely important information. Once they can auction it for a high price, they will be able to get it done once and for all, and the harvest will be great. Chen Lu said. That's fine. I happen to have some pills that I want to sell. I don't have any more source stones. Jiang Chen said. Let's go. I'll take you to Brother Jiang Chen. The largest auction in Lin and city should be the HSBC auction house. It doesn't matter who you are, be it a high official or a rich young lady, as long as you have money, there are countless treasures there. The auction house is also the largest exchange center in the surrounding 100,000 light years, so you can imagine how huge it is. It's said that the HSBC auction house is City Lord Tang Feng's property, but no one knows the exact origin. However, it's better to believe it than not. The HSBC auction house has been the largest auction house in the Tang Empire for all these years. We'll definitely get something if we go there. Chen Lu nodded. Big brother Jiang Chen was anxious to find his son, so she was also worried for him at this time. The HSBC auction house is the only auction house in the Tang Empire, and it has branches in every city. Let's hurry, brother Jiang Chen. It looks like I really have to go take a look. I hope that my pills can sell for a good price. Jiang Chen smiled. The two of them went straight to the HSBC auction house. As the largest auction house in Lin and City and even in the Tang Empire, the vastness of this place was an eye-opener for Jiang Chen. The HSBC auction house was located on a tall mountain. There were millions of houses, and at the top of the mountain was a massive platform. It was tens of thousands of zhang wide and could hold millions of people. This level of grandeur was hard to imagine. An auction house with millions of people was too shocking. Is it very shocking? Big brother Jiang Chen, restrain yourself. No matter what, we are still some of the top experts here. We can't afford to lose face here. Chen Lu chuckled. Jiang Chen shrugged. The two of them went straight to the HSBC auction house. As they walked up the stairs, there were many merchants and buyers. The auction house wasn't only operated during auctions. It was also a huge market during normal times. Where there were people, there would be society. Where there were profits, there would be business. This was an unchanging principle. Many of the merchants in the surroundings were stellar-level experts. In order to travel through the sword of the galaxy and become an interstellar wanderer, one had to at least reach the stellar-level standard. Those interstellar wanderers who could beg for food in the galaxy were not ordinary people. When Jiang Chen and Chen Lu arrived at the auction house, someone came up to ask if they wanted to buy or sell. Chapter 51-31. May I know the grade of your elixir? Would you like to auction it or sell it to our auction house? A blue-eared elf girl asked with a smile. Anything brought by a star-grade expert would definitely not be simple. Moreover, they were just maids. They could not be compared to star-grade experts like Jiang Chen and Jiang Lu. A pinnacle grade 8 elixir, the Great Recovery Pill. Jiang Chen said faintly. What? A pinnacle grade 8 elixir? The elf girl's face was filled with shock and disbelief. Such an elixir could only be found by luck. Even a pinnacle star-grade expert would definitely scramble for it. Such an elixir was not something she could appraise or purchase. Senior, please wait for a moment. I will go and invite the manager to appraise it for you. This way, please. The elf girl stepped back and went to the VIP seats at the back, inviting Jiang Chen and Chen Lu to join her. Are you really planning to sell your Great Recovery Pill? That would be such a pity. Chen Lu gritted her teeth and said in a low voice. The Great Recovery Pill was a top-grade elixir. Moreover, it was a 10-rune elixir. Even she yearned to obtain one. Brother Jiang Chen actually wanted to sell it. Anyone who obtained such an elixir would definitely treasure it. It was equivalent to a life-saving item. Who wouldn't fight for it? Speaking of which, I forgot to give you some. Jiang Chen smiled. After the elf girl left, he flipped his palm and took out 10 Great Recovery Pills and handed them to Chen Lu. I'll give it to you. These 10 elixirs can be considered as my compensation to you. Just don't think it's too little. After all, you provided all the ingredients for the Great Cyclic Elixir. I can't be biased. Chen Lu's expression changed as she looked at the 10-rune elixir in Jiang Chen's hand. These are actually 10 10-rune elixirs? She couldn't believe that it was a Great Recovery Pill at the peak of the 8th grade. She thought that since Jiang Chen had given her clan 5 Great Recovery Pills, he wouldn't have many left. But at this moment, Jiang Chen actually gave her 10 Great Recover Pills without hesitation. And he didn't even feel the pinch at all. This caused Chen Lu's face to be filled with fear. Wasn't this too precious? No, big brother Jiang Chen, this is too precious. I can't accept it. Chen Lu repeatedly declined. I still have a lot here. Hurry up and take it. It's not something precious. If you run out of food in the future, just ask me for more. Jiang Chen had an indifferent look on his face, but Chen Lu's heart was unable to calm down for a long time. Big brother Jiang Chen. Isn't he a little too abnormal? But thinking about how he defeated the leaders of two major factions in the western border and heavily injured the half-step cosmic cloud state Yi Tiannan, she understood. She only knew a limited amount of Big Brother Jiang Chen's secrets. His power was unbelievable. Jiang Chen's mysteriousness had left him in the dust. This time, Big Brother Jiang Chen must have really concocted a lot of great restore pills, and they were all 10-vein pills. Such wealth and such courage were rarely seen in this world. Then, I won't reject it. Thank you, Big Brother Jiang Chen. Chen Lu smiled sweetly and nervously took the 10 great recovery pills from Jiang Chen's hand. Her heart couldn't calm down at all. Big Brother Jiang Chen had given him so many great rejuvenating pills. It seemed like his position in Jiang Chen's heart was quite high. Even the Chen family had only given him 5 great rejuvenating pills, and he alone had 10. Chen Lu was incomparably happy. Big Brother Jiang Chen must like her, but he couldn't be with her right now. There were just too many things that he had to face. He needed to find his children, his brothers and sister Luo Ying. Even if she had deep feelings for him, he would still be afraid of hurting her. Chen Lu believed that she was still very important in Big Brother Jiang Chen's heart. In a trance, the door was pushed open. Jiang Chen raised his head and saw an old man wearing a scarf walking in with a smile. He was a 6th heavenly layer star realm expert, but he didn't expect that these two people were stronger than him. Moreover, he couldn't even see through their cultivation bases. Sorry to keep you two waiting. The old man chuckled and nodded. These two powerful experts must have brought something extraordinary with them. I'm Gong Lianqing, the manager here. I wonder if little brother can take a look at your pills? Gong Lianqing said. If he wanted to appraise and sell it, he must take a good look. Moreover, the difference in grades of pills was very big. The same pill, if the grade was too different, the price would be heaven and earth. It was just a peak 8th grade pill. Great recovery pill. It was Gong Lianqing's first time seeing this kind of pill. He heard others say that it was very precious. If someone had this kind of pill, why would they sell it themselves? They were all treasured by themselves. Who would want to sell these things? Therefore, Gong Lianqing didn't believe it at first. It was either a very ordinary defective pill. But even if it was a defective great recovery pill, the price was very high. It was hard to find one. Jiang Chen looked at Gong Lianqing. This guy was typical of people who didn't believe him. However, it was understandable that he wanted to see the pill. After all, goods were sold at the market price, and a price could only be set after seeing the goods. Jiang Chen chuckled and took out a great recovery pill. Gong Lianqing was stunned when he saw the great recovery pill. Terrifying Genesis Qi filled the air, filling the entire room. His eyes unblinkingly stared at this scene. This pill was too shocking. The great recovery pill had already surpassed his understanding. It was the first time he had seen such a pill in his life. Chen Lu looked at this scene with a smile on her face. Not to mention Gong Lianqing, even she herself was shocked when she saw the great recovery pill concocted by Big Brother Jiang Chen. As it turned out, this pill was enough to make Gong Lianqing dumbfounded. Could this be the legendary 10-rune pill? Gong Lianqing stuttered. His expression was incomparably grim as he looked at Jiang Chen with an incomparably grave expression. That's right, it is a peak 10-rune grade 8 pill. Jiang Chen nodded. Gong Lianqing unblinkingly stared at the pill. His face was filled with excitement as he held it in his hand. A 10-rune pill. How could he possibly have it? Gong Lianqing had only heard of it in legends, but when he saw it with his own eyes, Gong Lianqing knew that he couldn't hold himself back any longer. This pill was simply too precious. At least in his eyes, he would never sell this 10-rune pill if it was his. How is it? How much is this pill worth? Chapter 51-32. Jiang Chen's words pulled Gong Lianqing back to reality. His face was grim as he mused, but he didn't know what kind of price to give. If it were a healing pill, the price would be slightly lower. After all, it had to be targeted. However, a 10-mark pill that could recover one's essence qi was definitely priceless. This was equivalent to having an extra life in a life-and-death battle. It could give you more power and opportunities. It was definitely no joke to save your life at a crucial moment. It wasn't hard to imagine how much a human life was worth. Everyone who reached this level of cultivation was afraid of death. Once they died, it would be the end of everything. That was why the Great Recovery Pill was so precious. This pill should be able to instantly recover a peak star state's combat power. Gong Lianqing looked at Jiang Chen. Half-step cosmic cloud state should be able to do it too. Jiang Chen's words made Gong Lianqing hold his breath. He took a deep breath. He was just guessing, but Jiang Chen's words were definitely true. After all, this was a 10-veined pill. This baby was way too awesome. As the saying goes, the rarer something is, the greater its value. If it was a 6-rune or 7-rune pill, Gong Lianqing would be able to offer a price. However, this was a 10-rune pill. He wasn't prepared at all. In our HSBC auction house, a 4-rune grade 8 Great Recovery pill was auctioned for 100,000 grade 9 source stones. Gong Lianqing said with a heavy breath. His salary in the HSBC auction house for 100 years was only 8,000 grade 9 origin stones. In other words, it would take him more than 1,000 years to be able to afford a grade 8 Great Restore pill with 4 veins. Moreover, it was something that could only be obtained through luck. This 10-rune pill should be worth at least 800,000 to 1 million grade 9 source stones. Gong Lianqing wasn't stingy at all. Jiang Chen and Chen Lu glanced at each other. They were quite shocked. Jiang Chen didn't expect this peak 8th grade Great Revitalizing pill to be so terrifyingly valuable. Of course, it also had something to do with its existence. There would definitely be people who would pay any price for this life-saving item. Not bad, it met my expectations. Jiang Chen smiled. Little brother, are you really willing to part with it? If you're willing, I'll go find our leader now and talk to you in detail. Gong Lianqing asked cautiously. Fine, I don't think you can make the decision. I still have a few Great Recover pills. If the price is right, I'll sell them to your auction house. Jiang Chen said. Gong Lianqing was completely dumbfounded. What? How many more 10 marks Great Rejuvenating pills are there? Oh my god! Gong Lianqing's entire body trembled, his face extremely pale. He indeed didn't have the ability to negotiate. This involved tens of millions of grade 9 origin stones, and he didn't have the authority to do so. However, Jiang Chen's words completely shocked him. You really can't judge a book by its cover. His excitement was beyond words. With so many recover elixirs, and all of them were 10-vein elixirs, it was bound to cause a stir in the entire Lin and city, no, the entire Tang of the Eastern Land. Sir, please wait for a moment. I'll go find our leader now. Gong Lianqing nodded and left the room. His back was already drenched in sweat. Now he had to go find the leader, because he didn't have the authority to negotiate such a big deal. These two people seemed to be really not simple. After Gong Lianqing left, Chen Lu stuck out her tongue and said to Jiang Chen with a grateful face. Brother Jiang Chen, I just thought that this recover pill was very valuable, but I didn't expect it to be so valuable. The rarer something is, the greater its value. Moreover, this recover pill is extremely important to anyone. It can save your life at the moment of life and death. Who wouldn't be moved by it? Jiang Chen said with a smile. This seemed to be within his expectations, but such a price still shocked Jiang Chen. This time you're really rich, brother Jiang Chen. I'll have to rely on you in the future. Chen Lu smiled sweetly. However, she suddenly felt that her words might have been too ambiguous. In an instant, her charming face turned red. Don't worry. With me around, I definitely won't let you suffer a loss. Jiang Chen's words made Chen Lu's heart feel as happy as if she had eaten honey. Brother Jiang Chen's eyes were as gentle as water, making Chen Lu extremely happy. Not long after, the door to the VIP room was pushed open again. This time, the person who entered was a girl wearing a lotus-colored dress. The girl was very tall, and her figure was extremely hot. She had bright eyes and white teeth. Her eyes were like waves, and the corners of her mouth were bright red and flirtatious. She made men unable to stop even if they wanted to. This girl was pure yet flirtatious, delicate yet charming. However, her strength wasn't weak at all. At the very least, Jiang Chen could feel a considerable amount of pressure coming from this girl. So strong. This girl was really not simple. Moreover, her face was full of smiles. There was no trace of it, so people couldn't tell what exactly she meant. I'm Tang Wan, the person in charge here. Friend, this elixir has really broadened my horizons. I never dreamed that I would be able to see a 10-mark elixir, and it's even at the peak of the 8th grade. It's really a pleasant surprise. Tang Wan's red lips parted slightly, and her smile was as gentle as jade. However, at this moment, Chen Lu was very unhappy because this woman had seriously threatened her position in Brother Jiang Chen's heart. Brother Jiang Chen clearly looked at her a few more times. This woman was really too infuriating. The jealousy between women was unimaginable to anyone. When Chen Lu saw Tang Wan, the two women were somewhat at odds with each other. However, in Jiang Chen's eyes, this wasn't a big deal because he didn't notice these problems at all. This was a competition between the two women. It wasn't because of Jiang Chen, but neither of them wanted to be inferior to the other woman. "You flatter me," Jiang Chen said. "How many recover pills do you have, sir? As long as the price is right, our auction house will buy all of them." Tang Wan's smile was very elegant, like a spring breeze. "Can you really buy as many as you want? What about 100? Jiang Chen also said with a bright smile, and his eyes met Tang Wan's. Tang Wan's mouth moved slightly. "You're kidding. I only have 10. After Jiang Chen said that, Tang Wan's expression changed slightly. "What do you mean by only have 10? Isn't he looking down on me?" However, Tang Wan's expression was still very serious and shocked when she heard that there were 10 mark recover pills. "Sir, are you serious? Can you really take out 10 great recover pills?" Before Tang Wan's voice died away, 10 recover pills had already appeared in Jiang Chen's hands. Chapter 51-33. Don't judge a book by its cover. The sea was immeasurable. Tang Wan didn't expect that this ordinary-looking young man in front of her could take out 10 recover pills at the same time. Most importantly, they were all 10 mark pills. This was unbelievable. A 10 rune pill was enough to make countless people go crazy. Even she was filled with excitement. Although she had seen countless people and treasures, she had never seen a 10 rune pill before. The Great Recover Pill was an extremely rare pill that could swiftly recover one's Genesis Qi. Such a pill could only be found by luck and not sought after. Let alone a 10 rune pill. Even a 5 or 6 rune pill would be fought over by countless people. The 10 runes Great Revitalizing Pill in Jiang Chen's hand was like a sudden clap of thunder to Tang Wan. Her heart was in turmoil. This pill was too amazing. This would be the biggest transaction of the auction house in the past few thousand years. One was enough to shock the world and move cosmic cloud states. 10. Oh my God. This would be an unimaginable amount of wealth. Furthermore, these 10 elixirs would definitely elevate the status of the HSBC auction house. 10 pills. Tang Wan murmured. Tang Wan murmured. The shock in her heart was at its peak. At this moment, Tang Wan looked at Jiang Chen with a pair of lustful eyes. What kind of person could refine so many pills? If he wasn't a cosmic cloud state, he definitely wouldn't have such means. However, Jiang Chen clearly wasn't a cosmic cloud state. Was there someone else behind him? "Sir, are you planning to sell all of these pills or auction them off? If you are willing to sell them, the auction house is willing to bid for each pill at the price of 1.2 million grade 9 source stones. What do you think?" Tang Wan's smile was elegant and calm, but she was extremely excited. Even a cosmic cloud state would be jealous of these pills. Something that could save one's life was more than 100 times better than some useless pills. Especially for those who like to wander in the eternal world, an extra life could often allow them to reach the heavens in one step. When a person died, no amount of money or treasures would matter. However, a 10 runes Great Revitalizing Pill would allow them to regain everything. The value of such a pill was self-evident. 1.2 million grade 9 source stones. This price wasn't low. After all, although this pill was precious and everyone wanted it, not many people could take out grade 9 source stones, especially those below the cosmic cloud state. If a cosmic cloud state took out 1 million source stones, it would be understandable. Only a wealthy family would have the confidence. Even Chen Lu, who was watching from the side, was a little dumbfounded. To think that these 10 great cyclic pills would have such a horrifying value. This was truly unimaginable. Jiang Chen had given her so much. It was hard for Chen Lu to part with this friendship, and it was even harder for her to repay him. Big brother Jiang Chen was just too good to her. When this woman looked at big brother Jiang Chen, her eyes were filled with greed, as if she couldn't wait to swallow big brother Jiang Chen. This kind of woman was just too dangerous. As the manager of the auction house, Tang Wan's attitude made Chen Lu feel a great sense of danger. She didn't have a good impression of this woman. This price is indeed not bad. It seems I can't reject it. Jiang Chen shrugged and smiled. After all, 12 million grade 9 source stones were enough for him to cultivate for a long time. Not many cosmic cloud states could be as confident as him. Sir, you are so funny. It seems that our cooperation will be very pleasant. Tang Wan gently flipped her hair. Her eyes were sparkling, but Jiang Chen's expression remained the same. He turned a deaf ear. Tang Wan's good impression was obviously because of the great recovery pills. He wasn't narcissistic enough to think that someone had fallen in love with him. I hope so. However, I have one more thing that I hope Miss Tang can help me with. If Miss Tang can help me, I am willing to sow another 10 great recovery pills. Jiang Chen said solemnly. Tang Wan's expression froze. She was stunned and stared at Jiang Chen in disbelief. 10 great restore pills? How big of a deal would this be? Even in the entire Tang of the East, there might not be anyone who could offer such a generous reward. Tang Wan was even more shocked. Where did this guy get so many great revitalizing pills from? It seemed that his identity must be extraordinary. Things that were like treasures to her were worth so little in the hands of Jiang Chen. However, Tang Wan was not stupid. She knew that what Jiang Chen wanted to ask of her must be extremely difficult. But for Tang Wan, she still had some faith in the Tang of the East and the entire Tianchen star. Sir, please speak your mind. What do you need my help with? Tang Wan asked. Looking at Jiang Chen's serious expression, it must be a big deal to him. I want to find a person called Jiang Feng. He is not from the Tianchen star, nor is he from the Sky Tyrant star field. However, I have found out that he is in the Sky Tyrant star field. Miss Tang has a wide network. If you can help me find information about Jiang Feng, I will give you 10 great recovery pills. Jiang Chen stared at Tang Wan with burning eyes. Sir, may I ask who this person is? It's my son. I've been looking for him for many years. I came from Heavenly Revelation Starfield to find my son, Jiang Feng. If Miss Tang can help me find him, I, Jiang Chen, will be eternally grateful. Jiang Chen looked serious. After all, this was not his territory. Moreover, Tang Wan was the manager of the largest auction house in the Tang of the East. She must have a wide network of people and information. All the merchants passing through the Tang of the East passed through the Tianchen star. It could be said that any information that passed through the Tang of the East would not escape Tang Wan's hands. All right. Since that is the case, I will do my best. Furthermore, Sir's 10 great recover pills are very important to our auction house. I, Tang Wan, will definitely do my best to help you find Jiang Feng. Tang Wan's expression was serious, not only because she wanted to please Jiang Chen, but also because the value of 10 great recovery pills was immeasurable. If she could find any information about Jiang Feng, it would be like reaching the heavens in a single step. Although she had obtained the 10 great recovery pills, the other 10 were the revenge that Jiang Chen had promised. Money could make the devil turn millstones. Tang Wan was no exception. Everyone in the world was motivated by money. This was a fact that no one could change. Thank you, Miss Tang. Jiang Chen nodded. Sir, how did you make these pills? Tang Wan smiled. My master made them. I don't have the means to do so. However, my master doesn't want me to reveal his name. Chapter 51-34. Tang Wan's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that Jiang Chen's master was also a terrifying master. Perhaps he was a cosmic cloud state. This wasn't something Jiang Chen could do right now. He must be a cosmic cloud state to be able to take out so many of these pills so casually, and they were all 10 rune pills. Even if he wasn't, Jiang Chen's master must be a terrifyingly powerful expert, and an expert in alchemy. It was fine to offend an alchemy master, but if you offended a true alchemy master, it would undoubtedly be a disaster. The influence of an alchemy grandmaster wasn't something ordinary people could compare with. With Jiang Chen's power, it wasn't impossible for his master to command a few cosmic cloud states. Since he didn't want to tell her, Tang Wan chose to remain silent. Otherwise, if she angered him, it wouldn't be something that could be resolved with just a few sentences. It wasn't that Tang Wan couldn't afford to offend such a person, but she didn't need to. Who would go against money? Even if Jiang Chen robbed it, it was his ability. Other people couldn't do it. In that case, I'm sorry, sir. I was rude. Ha! I will do my best to do what you ask of me. I also hope you can find your beloved son soon. Tang Wan smiled. 10 vein great revitalizing pills. This was not an ordinary temptation. She absolutely had to find information about this Jiang Feng. This kind of opportunity could not be missed. It would not come again. Even if she couldn't be on good terms with Jiang Chen, she must not offend him. Otherwise, it would be a huge loss for the HSBC auction house. Back then when her father passed the auction house to her, he had once told her that she mustn't underestimate anyone. The universe was vast, and the origins weren't something they could probe. The eternal world was boundless and boundless. Who knows when a supreme expert, an existence they couldn't even come into contact with, would descend upon the Tianqian planet. If they underestimated anyone, it would be a disaster for them. Being humble was the right thing to do. Always have the heart of an apprentice. Here are 12 million grade 9 origin stones. Please accept them, sir. We will be holding an auction in the next few days. It will be very lively and there will be many treasures. I hope that sir will be able to attend. Tang Wan handed a black jade card to Jiang Chen. This is only available to our black gold members. As long as you have any requests, we will satisfy them. Thank you, I will definitely come to support you. Jiang Chen nodded. I still have something to do, so I won't bother you any longer. I'm staying at the South City Inn. If you have any news, Miss Tang, feel free to find me. Jiang Chen will be waiting for you. Farewell. After speaking, Jiang Chen left the HSBC auction house. Tang Wan narrowed her eyes. This guy seemed to have an extraordinary background. This guy is really generous. Miss, do we need to investigate this person's background? After Jiang Chen and the others left, Gong Lianqing quietly appeared beside Tang Wan. No need. Tang Wan said indifferently. What if this elixir came from a shady background? Gong Lianqing was taken aback. You still dare to provoke someone who can turn the western region upside down? Tang Wan sneered and looked at Gong Lianqing. Miss, you mean, he's an expert from the western region? Gong Lianqing asked in a low voice. Not long ago, the western region suffered heavy losses in the war. The three great forces were almost reshuffled. Then, a person appeared out of nowhere and pacified the three great forces. That person is him. Tang Wan said. What? Gong Lianqing's face changed. His whole body trembled as he looked in the direction Jiang Chen had left in disbelief. Although this news was blocked, Tang Wan, who stood at the top of the pyramid, was still clear about it. After leaving the HSBC auction house, Chen Lu's face was extremely ugly, which surprised Jiang Chen. What's wrong with you? Lulu, are you not feeling well? You don't look too good. Jiang Chen asked. Yeah, how can my complexion be better than Miss Tang's? Chen Lu said indifferently with a smile at the corner of her mouth. Jiang Chen was stunned for a moment before he burst into laughter. It seemed that Chen Lu was jealous. Although the two of them didn't make a pledge of eternal love, Jiang Chen was still very clear about Chen Lu's feelings for him. I know I'm not Sister Luo Ying and I don't have the right to be jealous, but I just don't like her. Look at how eager she is to you, as if she can't wait to eat you up. This woman is not a good person at first glance. Humph. Chen Lu curled her lips and said. I'm afraid you'll be fooled and fall into her honey trap. Jiang Chen couldn't help but smile. I can even resist your honey trap, let alone her. She's more coquettish than me. She's so flirtatious and knows how to flirt. She's not a good person at first glance. Chen Lu said unwillingly. Never mind, I'm going to sell pills, not a beauty pageant. She's a famous figure in the Tang dynasty. I can't compare to the manager of the HSBC auction house. Jiang Chen smiled. If she knew that you don't have a master, she would probably want to marry you. You're a powerful being with great talent. You don't know how attractive you are. How charming are you? I dare say that your pill concoction skills are unparalleled on the entire Tianqian planet. Even cosmic cloud states are no match for you. Chen Lu looked at Jiang Chen with anticipation. Even I don't know that I'm this popular? Jiang Chen shrugged. You're wrong. I'm just interested in this woman's ability. Besides, it's you who told me about the HSBC auction house. The manager here is very powerful. In the whole Tang, even in the whole Tianqian Star, this place is the most well-informed place. So if there's any news about Feng, I think she can only appear here. Jiang Chen said seriously. I know, brother Jiang Chen. I don't mean anything else. Don't be mad at me, okay? Chen Lu's heart was filled with mixed feelings. She was worried that big brother Jiang Chen would abandon her. After all, Tang Wan was so outstanding, and there was no way she could compare with her. She couldn't help but feel inferior and disappointed. I know. Hurry up and rest. It's getting late. The auction is in 2 days. Jiang Chen smiled. Nothing happened during the night. Jiang Chen had been cultivating silently for the past few days, waiting for the auction to begin. However, the person he was looking forward to the most was naturally Tang Wan, but it wasn't because of her. He was hoping that Tang Wan could bring him some exciting news. But clearly she didn't. Brother Jiang Chen, we should go to the auction. Chapter 51-35. Jiang Chen followed Chen Lu to the HSBC auction house. Today was the day of the HSBC auction house's annual auction. The yearly auction was the grandest auction held once a year. This time, the auction house attracted a lot of people. There were hundreds of thousands of people. The entrance of the HSBC auction house was crowded with people waiting to take their seats. The annual auction of the HSBC auction house is so lively. Every year, there are so many people coming from all over the world. I've come all the way from the Central Plains. I hope that the yearly auction won't disappoint me. Do you know where I came from? I came from the Woodland Star. I heard that the annual auction of the HSBC auction house is one of the biggest events within 100,000 light years. That's right. The annual auction of the HSBC auction house will not disappoint you. Every year, many people come to the HSBC auction house. Because of that, the HSBC auction house is getting bigger and bigger. There are guests from all over the world, including countless star wanderers. As long as they get their hands on something good, they will come here to sell it. That's right. As one of the top 3 hubs in the Sky Tyrant starfield, the Tianqian star has a lot of information and resources. Countless people sighed. They were waiting to enter the viewing area at the foot of the HSBC auction house. When Jiang Chen and Chen Lu arrived, Gong Lianqing recognized them immediately and ran towards them. Mr. Jiang Chen, this way please. This is the HSBC auction house's VIP channel. Our mistress has prepared the best viewing area for you. Gong Lianqing said with a smile. He who is unaccountably solicitous is hiding evil intentions. Chen Lu murmured and curled her lips. I'm just doing this out of goodwill. Jiang Chen pointed at the sea of people. There were tens of thousands of people. It was definitely not easy for them to be able to enter the VIP passage. Both of you, please. Gong Lianqing smiled. Lu, is that really you? A surprised voice sounded beside Jiang Chen and Chen Lu's ears. A tall and handsome young man with a well-built body appeared in front of them. He was dressed in a luxurious robe and looked very handsome. Young Master Zhou is here. Gong Lianqing nodded and said. Obviously, he knew the young master in front of him. Young Master Zhou. Chen Lu nodded her head, her brows tightly knitted together. From the looks of it, she did not seem to be too fond of this young Master Zhou. When young Master Zhou saw Jiang Chen, his face turned cold. What right does this guy have to stand beside Lulu? Who was he? Zhou Haoran's anger soared. His face darkened, and Chen Lu's attitude towards him made him even angrier. It was definitely because of this bastard. Back then, Chen Lu had never treated him like this. I'm from the Zhou clan of the main hall. Who are you? Who do you think you are to stand beside Lulu? Lulu is the goddess in my heart. Who do you think you are? Zhou Haoran's face was cold as he scolded Jiang Chen. Young Master Zhou, this is an honored guest of our HSBC auction house. Today is the day of the annual auction. Young Master Zhou, please go first. Gong Lianqing said with a smile. How would he dare to offend young Master Zhou? The Zhou clan was one of the 4 great clans of Great Tang, and Zhou Haoran was the eldest son of the Zhou clan. In the entire Great Tang, he could do whatever he wanted. Who would dare to say no to him? But from the looks of it, he was still holding a grudge against Chen Lu. This Jiang Chen seemed to be giving him a sore in his eyes. Jiang Chen looked at him coldly. You know this mad dog? Jiang Chen frowned. Not familiar. Chen Lu shook her head. Hearing Chen Lu saying that they were not familiar, Zhou Haoran was instantly enraged. He must kill this bastard. How dare you scold me? Zhou Haoran glared at Jiang Chen and said. What, you mad dog, are you deaf? Jiang Chen smiled. PFFF. Chen Lu's smile could topple a city. She looked at brother Jiang Chen with a smirk. Bastard! How dare you scold my young master? I think you're courting death. I don't care who you are. If you know what's good for you, hurry up and kowtow to my young master. If my young master is in a good mood, he might even leave you with an intact corpse. Before Zhou Heiren could speak, the guard beside him was already fuming. Master hasn't said anything yet. Where did this mad dog come from? You're indeed jackals of the same tribe. Humph. Jiang Chen's face was cold as he stared at Zhou Heiren. You're courting death. The guard flew into a rage out of humiliation and looked at Zhou Heiren. Zhou Heiren waved his hand, indicating for him to stay put. Young Master Zhou, this Mr. Jiang Chen is also our esteemed guest. Please be magnanimous. He. Gong Lianqing felt bitter in his heart. No matter if it was Jiang Chen or this young Master Zhou, he couldn't afford to offend either of them. He thought coming here to pick up Mr. Jiang Chen would be a good job, but in the end, he found out that both of them were in conflict. What should he do? If it wasn't for your HSBC auction house, do you think he would still be standing here talking to me? Zhou Heiren said with an indifferent expression. Yes. Gong Lianqing smiled apologetically. However, I gave you face today, but he didn't give me face. Humph. Interesting. In the entire Tang dynasty, there aren't many people who dare to speak to me like this. Who do you think you are? Do you think that I won't dare to touch you just because you're at the HSBC auction house? Zhou Heiren said with a sinister expression. Zhou Heiren, what are you trying to do? Chen Lu said angrily. What am I trying to do? Of course I want to be with you, Lulu. I feel disgusted to see such a man standing beside you. This kind of trash isn't worthy of you. Which part of me isn't better than him? In terms of background, strength, and talent, I, Zhou Heiren, am confident that I'm 10 times better than him. However, you actually chose to be with such trash. You really make my heart ache. Zhou Heiren's face was full of sorrow, but he still put on a righteous look. It's not up to you to comment on who I'm with. This is my freedom. Who do you think you are to me? Please shut your mouth and don't spout nonsense. Zhou Heiren, if you continue to be like this, I'm afraid that we can't even be friends. Chen Lu's expression darkened. She glanced at her brother Jiang Chen. Brother Jiang Chen was also very angry. His gaze was sharp. She hated this mad dog from the bottom of her heart. However, there was nothing she could do. Who asked them to meet here? Zhou Heiren had always been pestering her, but she really didn't care about him at all. Other than me, no one can be with you. Whoever stands beside you, whoever stands in front of me, I will kill them. The heavens are no exception. There's no woman that I, Zhou Heiren, can't obtain. Chen Lu, I advise you not to be so ungrateful. Otherwise, you'll definitely regret it. Today, I'll make him die without a grave. I'll let you know just whose territory Tang Dynasty is. Chapter 51-36. Zhou Heiren was filled with disgust towards Jiang Chen. Chen Lu was the woman he liked, and she could only be his woman. This fellow was simply too much of an eyesore. As one of the few young masters of the Great Tang, there was no need to doubt Zhou Heiren's status. Only he was worthy of Chen Lu. The two of them had crossed paths many years ago. One of them was a big shot in the western border, while the other was the young master of the Tang Empire. However, the Tang Empire's status and power were obviously stronger than the western border. For Zhou Heiren to like Chen Lu, it must be a piece of cake for him. No one could make him lower his head, and no one could take away the woman he wanted. Those who stand in my way will die. You'd better think about it. Some women can't be touched just because you want to. Otherwise, you're doomed to die without a burial place. Zhou Heiren looked down at Jiang Chen from above. He didn't put Jiang Chen in his eyes at all. Jiang Chen's strength was at most on par with his, but Zhou Heiren's strength was extremely terrifying in the entire Great Tang. If he wanted Jiang Chen to die here, he could do it. It seems like you're determined to kill me? Jiang Chen was so angry that he laughed. He looked at Zhou Heiren and thought, this guy is really simple-minded. There's another way. Kneel and kowtow to admit your mistake, and I'll leave your corpse intact. Otherwise, I'll grind your bones to ashes. Zhou Heiren didn't care about Gong Lianqing at the side. His eyes met Jiang Chen's. Blades and swords flashed and the killing intent of life and death filled the air. Many people around them looked at them silently with mixed feelings. It seems that this guy is finished. Of all people, he had to provoke Zhou Haoran. Yeah, this guy is almost invincible in the Tang Empire. Who would dare to offend him? This guy must be an outsider. He's sacrificing himself for a woman. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That's right. If it were me, I would have run away the moment I saw Zhou Haoran. This guy still dares to confront Zhou Haoran. He must be tired of living. Humph. Maybe he has the confidence? Ha ha ha, what if he's the young master of some big family? Wouldn't there be a good show to watch? Many people sneered at the side. This woman was very beautiful, but in the eternal world, there would never be a lack of beautiful women. What was lacking was strength. As long as you were strong enough, there would be countless women willing to follow you and serve you. Obviously, this young man didn't know this and still wanted to fight with Zhou Haoran to the end. He didn't even know where he was. Creating trouble in the human world. Wasn't this clearly showing that he didn't want to live? Everyone shook their heads. They were very clear about Jiang Chen's ending. Behind Zhou Haoran were 4 peak 8th heavenly layer star realm experts. Who would dare to go against such a formation? If it was an ordinary person, they would have been scared to the point of wetting their pants. It was undeniable that Jiang Chen was very strong. However, in the eyes of the people around, Jiang Chen was like a newborn calf that didn't fear tigers. Moreover, Zhou Haoran was notorious. If he knew about Zhou Haoran's temper, he definitely wouldn't fight him to the death. Sure enough, a femme fatale was just like that saying, "Brother Jiang Chen, let's go." "Don't stoop to his level," Chen Lu said softly. She was also very worried that brother Jiang Chen would be threatened by this guy and get hurt. After all, this wasn't the western border. As one of the 4 largest families in the Tang of the East, the Zhou family was very powerful. It wasn't something the Chen family could compare to. After all, the Tang of the East was much larger than the western border. There were many strong people and countless interstellar wanderers. This was the real hodgepodge. To be able to survive in the Tang of the East and stand at the top, one could only imagine his strength. "Do you think he can leave now?" "Chen Lu, I can let you go, but that doesn't mean I'll let the trash beside you go. If I kill him, it'll be as easy as pie." "Are you still stubborn? How can a piece of trash like him be a match for you?" Zhou Haoran's face was filled with a look of infatuation, causing Chen Lu to feel disgusted. This fellow had harmed countless women, and she had long since heard of it. But now, he actually put on an attitude as if he wanted to fly away with her, causing her to feel disdain in her heart. However, the situation was tense. Moreover, the 4 experts behind Zhou Haoran were very cautious and could attack at any time. "Watch how I deal with him. I don't believe that you really like Chen Lu. Today, I'll let you know what true strength is." Zhou Haoran stepped forward with a vigorous aura. His face was extremely cold. He was aiming to kill Jiang Chen with one blow. Once he killed Jiang Chen, he would be Chen Lu's man. At this moment, no one had expected Zhou Haoran to be so ferocious. Many people could not help but exclaim in surprise. Even in a place like the Tang of the East, Zhou Haoran, who was at the peak of the star level 8, was still an outstanding expert. Not everyone was a top genius. Zhou Haoran's attack had caused the crowd to be extremely cautious. It seemed like a light strike, but it contained all of Zhou Haoran's strength. It went straight towards Jiang Chen with a devastating force. Countless people's expressions changed when they saw the terrifying force that came crashing down on them. Chen Lu, who bore the brunt of the blow, also had a slight change in her expression. She did not expect Zhou Haoran to be so unreasonable. He actually attacked at the HSBC auction house. "No, young Master Zhou." Gong Lianqing's face was full of bitterness. However, he could not control the blow of such an expert. Although Chen Lu was shocked, she did not panic. She knew that big brother Jiang Chen's strength would definitely not lose to Zhou Haoran. However, Zhou Haoran's action undoubtedly made everyone present cheer. Many people love to watch a good show, especially when the hero saved the damsel in distress. It made many people's blood boil with excitement. At this moment, Jiang Chen finally moved. Just as Zhou Haoran's fist was about to land in front of Jiang Chen did not hold back. He punched out like lightning and met Zhou Haoran's fist. That feeling shocked countless people. Bang! A deep sound rang in everyone's ears. If it was not for the power of the 2 of them counteracting the terrifying domineering aura, everyone around them would have been affected. Zhou Haoran punched with all his strength, but when his fist landed on Jiang Chen's fist, his heart sank to the bottom of the valley. He had originally thought that even if his punch could not kill Jiang Chen, with his strength, it would not be a problem for him to injure him. However, he was wrong. He was the one who suffered the backlash of this punch. The terrifying power spread throughout his body, causing him to tremble and take 10 steps back. At that moment, Zhou Haoran's face was full of anger and shock. However, he was still defeated. In their first confrontation, when two fists collided, he was actually forced back by Jiang Chen. The crowd at the scene was in an uproar. This ordinary-looking young man was not afraid of the young master of the Zhou clan at all, and had even forced him back with a single punch. It was too domineering. Chapter 51-37. An ice-cold sonorous female voice with boundless majesty rang out in everyone's ears. At this moment, a beautiful figure dressed in red leisurely walked over. Everyone was intimidated by her. There was nothing but respect in their eyes. This was because in the entire Tang dynasty, even the top experts would not dare to make an enemy out of this woman. Zhou Haoran's face fell instantly. Even if his father was here, he might not have the guts to confront her. Zhou Haoran's angry face was instantly replaced by a smile. "Miss Tang, what are you talking about? How would I dare to cause trouble in your territory? He, I'm just joking." Zhou Haoran did not dare to look at Tang Wan at all. He smiled. If he chose to confront Tang Wan now, the four big families would probably start a war. This stunning woman could be said to be the most famous person in the Tang dynasty of the East. This was because she was in charge of the entire HSBC auction house. As someone feared by all the astral realms within 100,000 light years, Zhou Haoran did not dare to show any anger towards Tang Wan. Otherwise, he would be courting death. This guy doesn't know what's good for him. I just wanted to teach him a lesson. That's why you came out, Miss Tang. Zhou Haoran looked indifferent. I don't think so, Chen Lu said in a low voice. That's the truth. My guards can testify to that. Zhou Haoran said shamelessly. Jiang Chen sneered in his heart. If he had met this piece of trash outside of the HSBC auction house, he would have dealt with him long ago. How could he have allowed him to act tough until now? However, he was in someone else's territory, and it was in the unfamiliar Tang dynasty. Therefore, Jiang Chen chose to treat him coldly. After all, he still needed to rely on Tang Wan to find his phone. Your words are getting more and more boring. Tang Wan coldly looked at Zhou Haoran. Her beautiful eyes flickered, but it wasn't joy. Instead, it was disdain for Zhou Haoran. If it wasn't for the Zhou family, she would have already kicked Zhou Haoran out of the auction house. Zhou Haoran scratched his head and instantly became a well-behaved man. In front of Tang Wan, he did not have the capital to act pretentious. Although Tang Wan was so beautiful and could make people drool, he did not dare to have the slightest bit of covetous thoughts. In the past, there was a person who did not know the immensity of the heavens and the earth who molested Tang Wan, and in the end, his entire clan was exterminated. This matter caused quite a stir in the entire Tang Empire, so for Zhou Haoran, this was a hot potato. She was definitely a thorny rose, and it was better to stay away from her. Even the Zhou clan, one of the four great clans, didn't want to become enemies with the HSBC auction house. This was because their strength was simply too great and too diverse. They could easily attract countless powers, and this woman didn't dare to take it lightly. Mr. Jiang Chen is my esteemed guest. If you dare to disrespect him, then don't blame me for being impolite, Tang Wan said. Tang Wan said in a deep voice. This Zhou Haoran really didn't know what kind of person Jiang Chen was. She didn't know what kind of person Jiang Chen was, but she knew that the person behind Jiang Chen was at least a half-step nebula expert. She didn't want to offend such a person. If his master was stronger, even the entire Great Tang would have to be wary of him. Therefore, in Tang Wan's heart, Jiang Chen was still very important. His status wasn't something that Zhou Haoran could compete with. Ha ha ha. Isn't this a case of water rushing against the temple of the Dragon King? Family doesn't know each other. I've sinned. Since that's the case, there's nothing more to say. Miss Tang, I apologize for this matter. Zhou Haoran laughed. He was slightly shocked. This Chen Lu definitely didn't have this status. Who was this person? To be able to make Tang Wan treat him so seriously, could it be that this guy was really some kind of expert? Or could it be that the power behind him was terrifying? Tang Wan's status didn't need to be mentioned, but Zhou Haoren was very curious about this Jiang Chen. Thinking about how Chen Lu bowed to him and called him Big Brother, Zhou Haoren felt that this guy really did have some power. Otherwise, why would this woman listen to him? The auction is about to start. Hurry up and get in. Tang Wan glared at Zhou Haoren. Zhou Haoren shrugged and quickly entered the auction. However, when Zhou Haoren looked at Jiang Chen, his eyes became colder. No matter who you are, I won't let you have a good time in my territory. Jiang Chen, I'll remember you. I'm really sorry, Mr. Jiang Chen. I asked Old Gong to come pick you up, but I didn't expect this to happen. Tang Wan looked at Jiang Chen apologetically. It's fine. I believe Miss Tang also wants to see my power, right? Otherwise, you would have appeared a long time ago, right? Jiang Chen said bluntly. Tang Wan was stunned and blushed. This Jiang Chen actually discovered me? Jiang Chen's words made Tang Wan feel awkward, but it was also a warning to her. Don't try to spy on me. I already know of your existence. Tang Wan smiled bitterly in her heart. It seemed that she was the clown. She thought that everything was under her control, but in the end, she was slapped in the face. Jiang Chen's smile made Tang Wan feel even more helpless. This person isn't simple. Although she was a star level 9, she couldn't see through Jiang Chen. Moreover, Jiang Chen discovered her. This was the scariest thing. This person's master must be even more terrifying. This person must not be her enemy. Tang Wan had been managing the HSBC auction house all these years. She knew better than anyone that it was very difficult to make a friend. However, if you want to offend someone, it could be done in an instant. Opening a business, one naturally had to do everything well. I'm sorry for being rude. Mr. Jiang Chen, please. Tang Wan nodded and made a gesture of invitation. But this caused countless people to exclaim in admiration. Who was Tang Wan? How could this guy be treated like this by Tang Wan? He definitely wasn't an ordinary person. The two beauties on the side made countless people envious. Okay. Jiang Chen followed Chen Lu into the auction. At this moment, Tang Wan's expression became more and more playful. A person who could turn the tide of the war at Xizang was obviously extraordinary. However, Tang Wan didn't know the full story. News of Jiang Chen indeed reached her ears, but it only turned the tide of the war. There was no news of him defeating a half-step cosmic cloud state. If she knew that Jiang Chen defeated a half-step cosmic cloud state, perhaps Tang Wan would respect Jiang Chen even more. Chapter 5138. Looks like this Miss Tang really cares about you. Look at so many people. Who was personally welcomed by her? You're a big shot, brother Jiang Chen. Chen Lu looked at Jiang Chen with a faint smile. You're wrong. I'm not flirting with her. I'm here for treasure hunting. It has nothing to do with her. But if I have the chance to see this Zhou Haoren again, I'll definitely chop him into pieces. Jiang Chen said Lung Lung. Chen Lu's smile faded when she saw Jiang Chen's dark expression. She felt rather guilty. I'm sorry, brother Jiang Chen. It's all my fault. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been put in such a difficult position by Zhou Haoren. Chen Lu didn't expect to meet Zhou Haoren here. Not only did Zhou Haoren keep pestering her, but more importantly, he had also dragged her big brother Jiang Chen into this, and he was almost injured. Chen Lu's heart was filled with anxiety, and she felt guilty towards her big brother Jiang Chen. Silly girl, I'm not angry at you. That bastard is a hooligan. Why bother with him? If I see him again, I won't let him off. Jiang Chen smiled and patted Chen Lu's head. Chen Lu curled her lips. Her heart was filled with sweetness. As long as brother Jiang Chen isn't angry at me, it's fine. Brother Jiang Chen, thank you. Chen Lu said with a smile. She calmed herself down. At this moment, she could finally relax. Gong Lianqing arranged the best VIP seats for the two of them. Not far from them was Zhou Haoren. There weren't many people in the VIP section, but there were still more than 1,000 of them. After all, the Great Tang Empire was a place where experts gathered. They weren't the only ones with high statuses. Since the HSBC auction house was open for business, they must have made friends with many big shots. As for the people below the stands, there were more than 200,000 to 300,000 people. It was an unimaginable number. There was a hubbub of voices. This was the first time that Jiang Chen had seen such a grand auction. Its scale was unprecedented. The auction hadn't started yet, but there was still a lot of noise. Many people had come prepared. After all, the annual auction was held by the HSBC auction house. Many people might not be able to make it in time. Although it was held once a year, there were too many treasures that passed through the HSBC auction house every year. Who wouldn't be envious? Therefore, every year's annual auction would be a grand banquet. In less than a quarter of an hour, a beautiful girl wearing a white qipao stood at the center of the mountain. Within 100 meters of her, there was an empty space, and she was the only one standing at the center with a smile on her face. She was like a white rose in full bloom, full of sunshine. Esteemed guests, friends from the 5 lakes and 4 seas. Hello everyone, I am your chief auctioneer tonight, Cloud. It's my pleasure to be the chief auctioneer of the annual auction. Today, our HSBC auction house will be auctioning a total of 300 treasures. Each of them was carefully selected by us. Furthermore, there will be 3 treasures that are exactly the same today. The first one will be the same, and the first one will also be the same. I'm sure it'll be a surprise for everyone. Before Cloud finished speaking, countless people raised their heads in anticipation. 3 treasures that are exactly the same? This made them even more curious. The rarer something is, the greater its value. 3 treasures at once. How can they be auctioned for a high price? Are they trying to make fun of us? It's hard to say. There are so many treasures. How can they all be treasures? Sigh. I came all the way from planet Johua. Could it be that I've been scammed? Could it be that the HSBC auction house is not as good as before? That's hard to say. No one knows what they are. I think we should wait and see. I want to see what kind of tricks this HSBC auction house has up their sleeves. 3 treasures at once, and they want us to bid for them? Are they trying to fool us? More and more people started to doubt the HSBC auction house. After all, the HSBC auction house was rich and imposing. How could they have so many similar treasures? How could they whet the appetite of the crowd? There were 200,000 to 300,000 people and there were only 300 items. In other words, only 1 out of 1,000 people would be able to get a treasure. This ratio was quite low. Moreover, some people didn't come for the treasures. The annual auction was always filled with treasures. It was the most prosperous time for the HSBC auction house. Logically speaking, they wouldn't want to ruin their reputation. I wonder what kind of treasures will come across this time. Brother Jiang Chen, you're a rich man now. There are many treasures in the HSBC auction house. You have to keep your eyes open, Chen Lu said with a smile. She was also very curious about this year's annual auction. She had participated in the annual auction of the HSBC auction house before, but that was many years ago. It was her father who brought her here. I won't be lenient with treasures like jade slips. Jiang Chen nodded. At this moment, Yun Duo's loud and clear voice once again boomed across the entire mountain peak. Friends, the auction has officially begun. Please remain silent. Anyone who dares to cause trouble will be killed without mercy, said Yun Duo with a faint smile. However, her voice was transmitted to the entire mountain peak through the surging Genesis Qi. She seemed to be speaking casually, but her words were filled with domineering authority. Anyone who dared to cause trouble at the HSBC auction house was courting death. Even Zhou Haoren, the eldest young master of one of the 4 great clans of Great Tang, did not have the ability or courage to do so. Next, I will be unveiling the mysterious veil of the first auction item. Let's welcome the first auction item. After Yun Duo finished speaking, a slim and elegant young elf girl carefully carried a tray and presented it. Why are they acting so mysterious? What exactly is this? And they're even bringing out 3 at once. Do they think everyone is a fool? At this time, there were still people whispering amongst themselves. However, the majority chose to believe in the HSBC auction house as they watched in anticipation. Yun Duo gently unveiled the mysterious veil of the treasure. What appeared before them was a pill. This is not an ordinary pill. I believe that everyone present should have already smelled a faint medicinal fragrance that refreshes one's heart, right? This is a grade 9 pill, the Great Recovery Pill. Even a nebula state expert can instantly recover over 50% of their Genesis Qi. I believe it goes without saying how precious such a pill is, right? If an ordinary star state expert eats this pill, they will instantly recover their battle power. It's the same as having an extra life. Don't you think such a treasure is precious? Before Yun Duo's voice faded, gasps of surprise immediately rang out. Many people knew that they had indeed underestimated the HSBC auction house. A top-tier pill like the Great Recovery Pill was something that could only be encountered by luck. Moreover, every single one of them was extremely rare. Moreover, they were auctioning 3 this time. It was one of the 101st auction items, and it was also one of the 201st auction items. Alright, I forgot to tell you that this Grade 9 Great Recovery Pill is a 10-rune pill. Chapter 5139. 10-rune Great Huan Pill? How could this be? Everyone's eyes glowed with greed as they stared at the legendary 10-patterned pill. That's right. This was a 10-rune pill that only appeared in the legends, and it was a level 9 Great Huan Pill. How terrifying was this pill? Even though it was only a one-time consumption pill, it was important to know that this pill could save one's life. In this way it was quite worth it. Even an extremely powerful divine weapon might not have such a value. Divine weapons might be damaged too. It could increase one's combat power, but it might not be able to help one during critical moments. The effects of a pill could only be reflected in a life-and-death situation. 10-rune Great Huan Pill? How is this possible? Not to mention seeing it, I haven't even heard of it. Is there really someone who can refine such a pill? Hard to say. I don't know either. This pill is too insane. Even cosmic cloud states can recover their combat power rapidly? Is this for real? 10-rune pill. That's a 10-rune pill. Even if it's a collector's item, it would definitely be a treasure. You guys are really short-sighted. How can it be fake? If the HSBC auction house had a fake item, wouldn't it be disastrous? Why don't you think before speaking? That's right. Brains are a good thing. Too bad you guys don't have it. This item is definitely a treasure that can only be found once in 10,000 years. Plus, there are 3 of them at once. 3 auction items. This is really tempting. It's a king right off the bat. This year's annual auction is destined to have quite a lot of treasures. 10-rune Great Huan Pill. Oh my, it's time for us to fight for it. Hee hee hee. This pill definitely isn't something ordinary people can afford. But, since I've encountered it, I definitely won't let it go. Hee hee, the HSBC auction house isn't lying to me. Countless people were looking forward to the 10 marks Great Rejuvenating Pill. Everyone wanted an extra life. Everyone wanted the Great Rejuvenating Pill. However, there was only one pill. From the initial doubts to the current excitement, everyone became excited. Even though the Great Cyclic Pill wasn't something that everyone could obtain, the anticipation and excitement were hard to conceal. Even Cloud, who was standing on the stage, was blushing. More and more people had lost their initial doubts. Instead, their eyes were shining brightly. His mouth was unwilling, but his body was honest. There were at least 1,000 people who were interested in this 10 marks Great Rejuvenating Pill. Of course, it was not that the rest of the people were not interested, but their wallets did not allow it. This was a good thing that could make people palpitate with eagerness. However, many people did not have the courage to do so, nor did they have so much money. Such a treasure would definitely not be cheap. Being short of money, they could only watch helplessly. However, many people were curious. What kind of price would this 10 marks Great Huan Pill sell for? Tang Wan, who was standing in the corner, had a knowing smile on her face. She was the one who came up with this idea. If there was only one Great Huan Pill, it would definitely cause countless people to fight over it. However, if 3 appeared at the same time, the price would definitely not be low. Many people were looking forward to it. The most important thing was that the opening had given her an unexpected result. The whole crowd started to get excited. Although every year's auction would earn a lot of money, there had never been such a grand occasion. A 10 marks Great Rejuvenating Pill had brought everyone to a climax. This 10-rune Great Huan Pill is mine. Don't you dare fight me for it. Zhou Haoran said with a face full of excitement. This pill was really compatible with him. He had always been looking for a true peerless pill. This pill was simply tailor-made for him. That's not necessarily true. Since young Master Zhou likes it so much, others will definitely like it too. When the time comes, it will all depend on who has the ability to obtain it. Since young Master Zhou wants it, I won't snatch it away from you. Old dog Wu, you must be poor. Everyone in the VIP seats laughed. These people were all people who stood at the peak of the Great Tang. In any case, this pill is mine, Zhou Haoren muttered to himself. He clenched his fists tightly and was full of confidence. However, Zhou Haoren was definitely not the only one who wanted this 10-rune Great Huan pill. However, it would definitely be a glorious thing for anyone to come out on top. Although there were 3 10-rune Great Huan pills, the first one was the most important. The price of the first pill would directly determine the price of the second and third pills. There was more than one person who wanted this pill. Now, more and more people were waiting for the start of the auction. They couldn't wait any longer. Big brother Jiang Chen, it seems like your pill is really popular, Chen Lu said with a smile. Her face was flushed red. It could be seen that the value of this pill was enough to make many people go crazy. After all, this pill was something that could only be found by luck. Seeing that everyone is so enthusiastic, I won't keep you in suspense. Next, I will announce that this year's autumn auction has officially begun. The first item is our 10-rune 9th grade Great Huan pill. The starting price is 800,000 9th grade origin stones. Cloud said with a smile. When the starting price was set at 800,000 9th grade origin stones, she had been shocked. However, Miss Tang had said that this price was only the starting price and that more and more people would definitely rush over. Now that she saw their enthusiasm, perhaps that was not necessarily the case. A 10-rune 9th grade Great Huan pill and a 10-rune 9th grade Great Huan pill. The auction instantly reached its peak. 800,000 9th grade origin stones? Isn't that too expensive? Yeah, it's so expensive. I can't afford it. You're thinking too much. They didn't even consider whether you can afford it. Those who can afford it don't care about the price. They only care about the value. That's right. You're too shallow. You're not even in their consideration. Ha! How can you bully people like that? Your words are too hurtful. The crowd roared with laughter. However, at this time, they still made up the majority of the crowd. Many people shook their heads inwardly. It seemed like this 9th grade Great Huan pill was destined to have no fate with them. Only the true elites with enough origin stones could participate in the auction. 800,000 9th grade origin stones was a price that people below the 5th level of the star realm would not have to worry about, because they were not worthy. 850,000. Although many people thought it was too expensive and many people flinched at the sight of it, there would never be a shortage of rich people in this world. 870,000. 910,000. 920,000. 950,000. I bid 1 million. Chapter 5140. Cloud's eyes were filled with surprise. It seemed that Miss Tang's foresight wasn't something that she could compare with. Her methods were too brilliant, and her control over the price in people's hearts was far beyond that of an ordinary person. A 9th grade great revitalizing pill was as rare as a phoenix's feather or a unicorn's horn. Moreover, a 10-mark pill was even rarer. Therefore, this pill became a godly existence. How could it not attract attention? Some people treated it as a life-saving pill, some as a symbol of status, and some as a collector's item. In short, the dominance of this 10-rune pill was different. 1,050,000. 1,080,000. 1,100,000. The popularity of the Great Recovery Pill didn't die down. Instead, it was getting higher and higher. This also happened to heat up the place, making the people at the scene more enthusiastic. Ha ha ha, what's the point of increasing by tens of thousands? This Great Recovery Pill, I, Darkwood King, must get it. 1,200,000. A big man with a curly beard said with a domineering face. He gently stroked his beard, full of dominance. 1,200,000? Are you sure you can get it? I've said before, this 10-rune Great Recovery Pill belongs to me. Zhou Haoren glanced at Darkwood King. As one of the top experts in Tang Dynasty, Darkwood King wasn't simple, but compared to the Zhou family, he paled in comparison. 1,300,000. However, Darkwood King wasn't an ordinary person. Although Zhou Haoren wasn't simple, he wasn't someone to be trifled with. He also had an extraordinary identity. Here, it didn't matter how powerful you were or how high your status was. As long as you had money, You would be a distinguished guest of the HSBC auction house. Obviously, Zhou Haoren was still immersed in his identity as a young master, but Darkwood King didn't buy it. Humph. Do you think I'm afraid of you? 1,400,000. Darkwood King coldly snorted. 1,500,000. If you have the ability, follow me. Zhou Haoren crossed his arms in front of his chest with an indifferent expression on his face. To him, the value of this great revitalizing pill was extremely high. Moreover, it wasn't something that just anyone could get their hands on. He had to get this pill no matter what. Big brother Jiang Chen, look, the price of these pills is skyrocketing. I want to take my pills out and sell them. Chen Lu said excitedly. This price was too outrageous. 1.5 million grade 9 source stones was an astronomical figure for a 7th firmament star like her. Very few people were able to accumulate a wealth of 1 million grade 9 origin stones. Only a large corporation or an extremely powerful individual would be able to do so. Tang Wan is not simple. She knows how to manage people. If there are too many, it will affect the price, and if there are too few, it will cause a large-scale riot. That's not a good sign. 3 is just right. There will be countless people fighting over it, and it won't offend any big shots. It will all depend on their own financial resources, and those who are capable will get it. Jiang Chen pondered and said. Chen Lu pursed her lips. You're praising me again, but I might not praise you like that. 1.6 million. The Darkwood King clenched his teeth. He was already close to his limit. It wasn't that he couldn't take out that much money, but the price had far exceeded his expectations. Although this great recovery pill was precious, it wasn't enough to make him spend all his money. However, it was different for Zhou Haoren. He was rich and willful. This was the label of the young master of the Zhou clan, one of the 4 great clans. 1.7 million. Zhou Haoren said faintly. At this moment, the entire crowd became solemn and silent. As a member of the Zhou clan, Zhou Haoren was rich and overbearing. This made it impossible for anyone to continue competing with him. This price could only be described with one word: outrageous. At this moment, the Darkwood King could only grit his teeth and snort coldly. He had completely lost his initial sharpness. This price was indeed too high for him to continue bidding. Is there anyone who bids higher than young Master Zhou? 1.7 million grade 9 source stones going once. 1.7 million grade 9 source stones going twice. 1.7 million grade 9 source stones. Cloud said with a smile. Her eyes were shining. However, her words were interrupted by someone. 1.8 million. Jiang Chen said. At this time, he had also attracted the attention of the entire crowd. Was the real battle just beginning? However, at this time, many people's blood was boiling. The first item of the auction already made their hearts beat faster. This kind of feeling was too good. They couldn't help but feel their hearts beating faster. The price climbed to new heights. Although they weren't the ones bidding, it was still a very shocking thing to see others easily increase the price by 100,000 grade 9 source stones. The corner of Jiang Chen's mouth curved upwards. The great recovering pill was being auctioned off like a raging fire. How could he not interfere? Moreover, Zhou Haoren was his mortal enemy. At this time, he had to add fuel to the fire. Who is this guy? Why haven't I seen him before? Where did he come from? Is he also an interstellar wanderer? He actually has the strength to compete with Zhou Haoren. Not simple. Never heard of him. However, he doesn't look like someone easy to deal with. He's definitely an expert. Otherwise, why would he dare to challenge Zhou Haoren? This is interesting. However, the price of this great recovery pill is too terrifying. It really makes people feel uneasy. Ha ha ha, the emperor is not anxious, but the eunuch is. What are you anxious about? Their challenge has only just begun. This was not just a competition of money, but also a competition of status. Most importantly, in Zhou Haoren's eyes, Jiang Chen was a thorn in his flesh. Furthermore, he had underestimated Jiang Chen. If he allowed Jiang Chen to suppress him, wouldn't he be ridiculed by others? At this time, Zhou Haoren would definitely not be afraid. I'm the young master of one of the 4 great clans. Why would I be afraid of you? What a joke. Looks like you want to show off in front of Chen Lu. Unfortunately, You don't have the strength to do so. Today, I must obtain this great recovery pill. Zhou Haoren's face was full of confidence as he said proudly. However, at this time, Gong Lianqing was a little dumbfounded. Isn't this pill sold by Mr. Jiang Chen? Why is he still bidding here? What is going on? Miss, look at this. Gong Lianqing looked at Tang Wan and did not know whether to laugh or cry. Looks like this Jiang Chen is not simple. Interesting. Although Tang Wan was surprised, she did not panic. She smiled at the bidding between Jiang Chen and Zhou Haoren. She seemed to have discovered some clues. 2 million. I want to see how you can compete with me. Chapter 51-41. The two of them were already at loggerheads. Now, there was no way they would back down. Even if their bones were crushed, Zhou Haoren would definitely trample on Jiang Chen. 2 million. Jiang Chen said with a chuckle. Waves of exclamations could be heard from the surroundings. When they looked at Jiang Chen, their faces were filled with astonishment. It seemed like such a powerful expert had come prepared for this battle. Such wealth was not something an ordinary person could have. This person's background was definitely not simple. Zhou Haoren was silent. Even he was a little afraid of these people. Did he really have that much money? Where did this kid come from? 4 million. When Zhou Haoren looked at Chen Lu, his confidence was even firmer. He could not lose. 5 million. Jiang Chen was still as calm as ever. Bastard! Zhou Haoren's face darkened. At this point, it was hard for him to back down. If he gave up on such a good opportunity, the Zhou clan would definitely be laughed at by others. But if he did not give up, the price was too high. He could accept it, but was a 10-mark pill really worth that much? 6 million. Zhou Haoren took a deep breath. He kept reminding himself that this was definitely the last time he would raise the bid. Jiang Chen had already reduced the bid price to 5 million, which meant that he had reached his limit. Therefore, if he bid 6 million, he would be able to win the bid. Watching the two of them continuously bidding, many people's adrenaline levels soared. This kind of auction was too exciting. Moreover, each time the price increased by 100 or 200,000 grade 9 origin stones. Even if it wasn't unprecedented, this auction was definitely the most exciting one in the past 10,000 years. But from the looks of it, the two of them were starting to hesitate. This item was finally going to be auctioned off. Forget it. I can't even win 5 million. Let's not fight anymore. Jiang Chen waved his hand, a helpless expression on his face. Do you think I'm afraid of you? You can't even win 5 million? I'll win it for you at 6 million. As long as this young master is here, you can only be second. Zhou Haoren laughed loudly. 250? Wasn't that insulting? Young Master Zhou is being treated as an idiot. That's right. Young Master Zhou is still being complacent. This guy is too stupid. Ha! Did young Master Zhou fall into a trap? This movie is clearly saying that Zhou Haoren is an idiot. While everyone was talking about it, Zhou Haoren suddenly came to a realization. This Jiang Chen chose to retreat when the price was 5 million. He even said that even 5 million was not enough. Wasn't he pointing at the mulberry and scolding the locust? Zhou Haoren was so angry that his face contorted. He glared at Jiang Chen. Although this pill was precious, it was almost double the premium price. Zhou Haoren felt a stabbing pain in his heart. Jiang Chen, I'm not done with you. Zhou Haoren's face was flushed red. This was too fucking embarrassing. 6 million? Are there any higher ones? Young Master Zhou bids 6 million. Yun Duo's face was flushed red. Who would have thought that the first great restore pill would be sold at such a sky-high price, 6 million grade 9 origin stones. This price had probably caused 99% of the people present to shrink back in fear. 6 million going once. 6 million going twice. 6 million going thrice. Sold. Cloud made the final decision and said with a bright smile. 6 million for the great recovery pill. Congratulations, young Master Zhou. Jiang Chen said with a smile. Zhou Haoren's face was ashen. The corner of his mouth twitched. He was about to die from anger. This price had far exceeded his expectations. It had even exceeded 1,000,000 grade 9 origin stones. Even a wealthy young master like Zhou Haoren felt his heart ache when he saw this. 2. 6,000,000 ninth grade origin stones. TSK. 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 Young Master Zhou is indeed young Master Zhou. We can't even catch up. Yes, young Master Zhou won first place. Not simple, not simple. Ha! What an idiot. No matter how valuable this pill is, how could it be worth this price? He has nowhere else to spend his money. You can't say that. Even if young Master Zhou likes it, you can't do anything about it. That's true. Money can't buy my happiness. We can't experience the life of the rich. Some sharp words from the crowd entered Zhou Haoren's ears. His face was filled with displeasure. Being able to bid for this great recovery pill meant that he had a lot of face. However, he was a spendthrift. He had spent too many origin stones. Humph. You still haven't bid for me, right? It's useless to say anything else. You can only concede defeat in my hands. Zhou Haoren gritted his teeth. A cooked duck is still stubborn. At the end of the day, this pill is mine. Do you have one? You don't say. I do have one. Jiang Chen took out a great recovery pill. At this time, Zhou Haoren's face turned green. You. How did you get a great recovery pill? Zhou Haoren was in disbelief. Miss Tang gave it to me, of course. After Jiang Chen said that, he swallowed the pill on the spot. Zhou Haoren's eyes widened in shock. This thing is quite delicious. It feels so good after eating it. I feel so refreshed. It's so delicious. When you get the great recovery pill, you can try it too. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Jiang Chen smacked his lips in satisfaction. Zhou Haoren's mouth twitched. He couldn't say a word. This is a fucking 6,000,000 10 great recovery pill. You ate it like it's candy? And you feel so refreshed? Zhou Haoren almost fainted from anger because of Jiang Chen. This bastard is too infuriating. Even if he was an idiot, he knew that this guy was playing with him. Moreover, he didn't want the great recovery pill at all. He raised the price of the pill to make him pay. This bastard is too despicable. What is his relationship with Tang Wan? She actually gave him a great recovery pill? This kind of favor isn't easy to return. Zhou Haoren was furious. However, he couldn't care less at this moment. If Jiang Chen were to make a move next time, he would definitely cause trouble. I'll give him a taste of his own medicine. I definitely can't let this matter go. Moreover, Chen Lu's matter isn't over yet. The enmity between the two of them can be considered to have been completely formed. Brother Jiang Chen, you're too awesome. Chen Lu gave a thumbs up and looked at Jiang Chen. Zhou Haoren was stunned when he saw that Jiang Chen ate the great recovery pill on the spot. Did I just buy loneliness? The great recovery pill is actually so worthless in Jiang Chen's hands. However, he actually treated it as a divine pill. Isn't this obvious? He's just trash. Who asked him to provoke me? Then I'll play with him. Jiang Chen smiled. At this time, Tang Wan, who was secretly observing this scene, was also shocked by Jiang Chen. This guy really can't be underestimated. He's trapped Zhou Haoren alive. Interesting, really interesting. Following that, many treasures were auctioned off, but the highest price was the great cyclic pellet. The second highest was a divine weapon, which was sold for 730,000 grade 9 origin stones. It wasn't a low price either. Chapter 51-42. As time passed, more and more treasures were auctioned. In the end, the second great recovery pill was also sold for 1,750,000 grade 9 origin stones, but it was not as grand as the first great recovery pill. After all, Jiang Chen had purposely set a trap for Zhou Haoren. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to reach such a high price. During this period of time, Jiang Chen had been searching for the treasures he needed. He had to admit that he had seen all kinds of strange things, and most of them were things he had never seen before. However, they weren't very useful to him, so he didn't take any action. However, at this time, Jiang Chen discovered a problem. Zhou Haoren had been silently watching him, or even staring at him. Jiang Chen frowned. As the saying goes, don't be afraid of a thief stealing, but be afraid of a thief remembering. This guy was obviously up to no good. Jiang Chen had tricked him, and he seemed to be looking for an opportunity to deal a fatal blow to Jiang Chen. Humph, little bastard, this young master will fight with you tonight. Let's see who will have the last laugh. Zhou Haoren stood with his arms crossed, speaking frankly with assurance. His eyes were slightly narrowed, filled with gentleness. At this time, Jiang Chen actually started to call out a price. Jiang Chen saw a very good divine weapon. The starting price was 100,000 grade 9 origin stones. The price went up to 200,000 before gradually stabilizing, and no one continued to compete. 200,000 grade 9 origin stones. Looks like this sword is going to be mine, Jiang Chen said with a smile. Yours? Dream on. At this time, Zhou Haoren had already fixed his eyes on Jiang Chen. His eyes were sinister. He definitely wouldn't let Jiang Chen get what he wanted. Coincidentally, I also like this sword. 210,000. I'll take it. Zhou Haoren said with a smile. Jiang Chen frowned. There's no need to fight with me, right? Money can't buy anything. I like it. What can you do to me? Zhou Haoren's face was cold. This guy is obviously against you. Big brother Jiang Chen. At this time, Chen Lu was also quite worried. Zhou Haoren was rich and overbearing. If this fellow continued to go against big brother Jiang Chen, it would definitely not be a good thing. It doesn't matter. I've taken a fancy to this sword. I must have it. Jiang Chen said seriously. 220,000 grade 9 origin stones. Zhou Haoren snorted and sneered. If you increase it like that, it's really too boring. 250,000. 300,000. Jiang Chen was not to be outdone. Looks like these two are really going to fight. Ha ha ha, the price of this sword is at most 200,000 grade 9 origin stones. Yeah, this is like a tortoise and a mung bean. Do they like each other? Ga, that's right. But it seems that this guy is not someone who is easy to deal with. He dares to go against young Master Zhou. This is not something that just anyone would dare to do. Zhou Gongzi is a tyrant of our great Tang. Opposing him is no different from seeking death. AI. There's always someone who likes to run into the muzzle of a gun. This kid is going to go against Zhou Haoren like this. Isn't he afraid that young Master Zhou will kill him? I've never heard of someone like him before. Quite a few people felt admiration for Jiang Chen. After all, Zhou Haoren was not someone that just anyone would dare to directly confront. This guy was the little tyrant of the Great Tang. Fighting with him would definitely not end well. However, the bidding war between Jiang Chen and Zhou Haoren was also quite lively. Many people were acting as if this matter had nothing to do with them, waiting to watch a good show. 400,000. What do you think? Add a bit more? Zhou Haoren's eyebrows danced as he looked at Jiang Chen, his eyes filled with a feminine light. 500,000. I must obtain it. I advise you not to fight with me. Zhou Haoren, you're not my match. Jiang Chen shook his head. The anger in Zhou Haoren's heart surged. I'm not your match? Little brat, I'll kill you. 800,000 grade 9 origin stones. I'll take it. Zhou Haoren was not inferior to Jiang Chen in the slightest. He could not lose face. You're just putting up a futile struggle. 1 million. Jiang Chen smiled. 1,500,000. Zhou Haoren said. How domineering. Young Master Zhou is too domineering. Who do you think young Master Zhou is? You just won the first prize. 2,600,000 grade 9 origin stones for great cyclic pills. Face is more important than anything else. That's right, I support young Master Zhou. Ha. AI, he's clearly nothing, so why does he have to fight with young Master Zhou? It seems like the two of them are at loggerheads, and neither wants to take half a step back. There's going to be a good show to watch. It seems like this guy can't hold on much longer. The crowd was also very curious about Jiang Chen. Just who was this person that he dared to make life difficult for young Master Zhou time and time again? This was quite rare in the Great Tang. Why aren't you shouting anymore? Zhou Haoren said confidently. 1,600,000. Jiang Chen clenched his teeth and said, Big brother Jiang Chen, stop shouting. Chen Lu's face was filled with worry. 2 million. How about it? Are you still shouting? Don't let me see you being so useless. A man must be tough. Zhou Haoran saw that Jiang Chen's face was turning green. At this moment, he had no intention of continuing shouting. He was here to disgust Jiang Chen. Who asked him to disgust him? I'm not shouting anymore. I have no use for this thing. Since you like it so much, it's yours. Jiang Chen shrugged his shoulders and sighed. He said in an unconcerned manner. In an instant, Zhou Haoran was stunned. You. Why aren't you shouting anymore? Why aren't you playing by the rules? Don't you like this divine weapon? Zhou Haoran's mind was filled with a series of question marks, but he didn't expect Jiang Chen to leave in advance. With a gloomy expression, it was as if he didn't care about Zhou Haoran at all, as if this had nothing to do with him. It's over. Zhou Haoran's face was pale. He was tricked by that bastard Jiang Chen again. Bastard! Zhou Haoran stared angrily at Jiang Chen. He wanted to tear him apart and eat his flesh. Damn! No way! Zhou Haoran was tricked again? 2 million. That's 2 million grade 9 source stones. Oh my god! Even I, a level 8 star level, don't dare to look at it directly. So many source stones. Even Zhou Haoran wouldn't be able to handle it. Being tricked once was an accident. Being tricked twice means that this Zhou Haoran is an idiot. The landlord's stupid son. Sigh. When Chen Lu looked at Jiang Chen, she was also tricked by his acting. She didn't expect big brother Jiang Chen to be so serious. It turned out that he was playing with her again. Big brother Jiang Chen, you're too vicious. But I like it. Chen Lu blushed and covered her mouth as she giggled. Zhou Haoran was so angry that his face had turned green. These two bastards had caused him to lose over 4 million grade 9 origin stones. Right now, he didn't even have enough money in his pocket to use, and he had to buy them on credit. Chapter 51-43. Zhou Haoran's expression was extremely cold. He had become the target of ridicule because this was not the first time he had been fooled by Jiang Chen. If it happened again and again, there would be some problems with his brain. This was also the question that everyone was most confused about. Was Zhou Haoran an idiot? However, many of them just wanted to watch a good show. Zhou Haoran was used to being arrogant and domineering, so no one dared to provoke him. Now that he was being tricked by Jiang Chen, he felt extremely wronged in his heart. That was nearly 5 million 9th grade source stones. Who knew how many people would go crazy for it? The Great Recover pill was nothing. At least he had gained some face. Although the price was much higher, it was still something that he loved. However, this divine weapon was useless. It was used by Jiang Chen to deal with him. This was too shameful. From the beginning, he had already made preparations. In order to cheat him, he had also spent a lot of money. Zhou Haoran finally saw clearly that Jiang Chen had been scheming against him from the beginning. Although he had been planning how to deal with him, it was obvious that he was half a beat slower. Jiang Chen had taken the initiative and even suppressed him to the point that he had lost face. One should know that he was the most powerful young master of the 4 great clans in the Great Tang. He did not expect that he would be so vulnerable in front of Jiang Chen. Although it was just a battle of money, it was enough to see that this guy was not ordinary. Zhou Haoran had now regarded Jiang Chen as his #1 enemy. He had underestimated Jiang Chen. He had been infatuated with Chen Lu, but he did not expect to be slapped in the face by Jiang Chen. Any man would not be able to accept this, and this made him very angry. Everyone present looked at Zhou Haoran as if they were looking at something strange. He naturally understood that he had spent 2 million on an item that was worth 200,000. Where else could he find such a spendthrift? Even Tang Wan, who was at the side, could not stop smiling. This Jiang Chen was really too interesting. He had completely played Zhou Haoran in the palm of his hand. At this moment, Zhou Haoran wanted to quickly kill Jiang Chen to relieve the hatred in his heart. However, this was the HSBC auction house, and he couldn't do anything to him. I don't believe you can stay in the HSBC auction house for the rest of your life. Be a coward if you can. Zhou Haoran's eyes were cold as he clenched his fists tightly. Big brother Jiang Chen, I think you have thoroughly offended Zhou Haoran this time. We have to be careful in the future. Chen Lu said in a low voice. It was all because of her big brother Jiang Chen that Zhou Haoran was infected by this fly. How annoying. However, Zhou Haoran's strength was not to be underestimated. He was one of the 4 great clans of Great Tang. Who could afford to offend him? Moreover, the Chen clan's influence was not here. They could only be extra careful. Don't worry, I'm not as weak as you think, and this guy has been eyeing me for a long time. If I don't retaliate, he will think that I'm a pushover. This time, let's see if he still dares to challenge me. Jiang Chen said with a smile. He did this to prepare for a rainy day. He was afraid that if he saw something he liked, Zhou Haoren would fight with him for it. Then he would suffer a great loss. Therefore he had to make the first move. Only by striking first would he be able to force others into a corner. This was also to guard against Zhou Haoren. That fellow was arrogant and unruly, and could do anything. Congratulations, young Master Zhou. You have won our treasure for 2 million. Yun Duo's voice was gentle and pleasant, but in Zhou Haoren's ears, it was filled with anger. Jiang Chen, I will not let you go even if I have to grind your bones into ashes. I will make you 2 cowards kneel in front of me and tremble. Zhou Haoren's eyes were filled with anger, but there was nothing he could do. After all, the HSBC auction house was still going on. Jiang Chen did not care about him at all. He could only ignore this mad dog. After a few more items, there was finally one that Jiang Chen was interested in. It was the sky green monkey. This was a very rare spiritual monkey. Although it looked like a monkey, its eyes were very cunning and sharp. When Jiang Chen saw the sky green monkey, he was shocked. This sky green monkey actually had a small amount of star energy flowing in its body. Yes, it was star energy. Although it was not much, Jiang Chen was sure that this sky green monkey was not simple. This sky green monkey is said to be from the Green On tribe. Its footprints were found on a small star at the edge of the Sky Tyrant star domain. It is said that the sky green monkey is the most intelligent demonic beast. It would be the best choice to be trained as a spiritual pet or a mount. Cloud said with a smile on her face. Are you mesmerized by the host? Chen Lu said with a smile. Jiang Chen smiled bitterly and rolled his eyes at Chen Lu. Why are you thinking about love? Do I love every one of them that I see? Isn't Tang Wan much prettier than her? I didn't even blink. I was just looking at that monkey. Jiang Chen's eyes were still fixed on the monkey. Others might not be able to discover anything, but he could tell that this monkey was extraordinary. He had to find out what was going on with the star energy in this monkey. Perhaps he might even be able to find the core of the star. However, Jiang Chen did not have high hopes. It was not easy to find the core of a star. Moreover, the core of a star was a supreme treasure. It was definitely something that could only be found by chance. Although Jiang Chen yearned for it, he was not confident enough to set his eyes on the core of a star no matter where he went. If he did, his cultivation path would probably be stagnant. If he wanted to obtain the core of a star, it would depend entirely on luck. However, if this sky green monkey had some secret about the star energy, it would be hard to say. Sky green monkey? This thing doesn't seem to be common. Yeah, but this thing is very smart. I heard that some owners who raised sky green monkeys were killed by it. This guy is too strange. Ha! I can't afford to offend it. This kind of thing should be left to those rich people. The sky green monkey is not easy to deal with. If you don't have the ability, don't play with it. Although it is strong and has extraordinary battle strength, it is also arrogant and unruly. Not many people can control this guy. Many people shook their heads inwardly. It was obvious that not many people were interested in the sky green monkey. Lot 194. Sky Green Monkey, starting price, 100,000 ninth grade source stones. As soon as Yun Duo's voice fell, someone made a bid. Although not many people bid, there were still people who wanted it. Although there were not many people who bid, there were still dozens of people who kept increasing the price. In less than a quarter of an hour, the price had reached 225,000. At this time, Jiang Chen's bid should be about right. 230,000. Jiang Chen said. This price was basically the highest price he could offer. Especially when Jiang Chen bid this time, it made everyone on the scene tremble with fear. Young Master Zhou had fallen into his trap twice, and no one dared to compete with him when he called a price. That's right, you're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.